To my ladies, in order to learn men, when you're hearing a man talk, learn. This is how they are. So therefore, I'm telling you, you have the master key, and you can say, you know what? Let me stop this here. Yeah. Because you have that discernment. There are situations where a man, he's stronger than a woman physically, right?
Right.
That's why I said women are mentally stronger than men.
Right.
Men are physically stronger than women.
Yes.
This is what I'm trying to explain. It's not an excuse, but it's just reality.
Welcome to the Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast, starring Q the Boss.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another episode of Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast. They call me Q the Boss. I got my special panel. We come in, we do a lot of damage. Last week we started with Myra, so this week we started that. And this corner.
So annoying. Hi guys, I'm Shay. Welcome back, guys.
Shay to my right. Let's give it up for guys. And to my left.
Hi guys, I'm Myra. You guys know me. Happy Sunday.
The very pleasant Myra.
I just got here.
So did I.
Not pleasant?
Right
I'm
now.
extremely pleasant. I'm happy,
It's
guys.
about
I went to church.
go
Happy Palm Sunday, guys.
down.
Yes, guys. Happy Palm Sunday.
So today's topic, ladies, and I want to give you guys the floor. Do you think feminism is destroying women?
I wish you would have told me this topic before I came, so I would have brought something stronger than wine. I would have brought whiskey. But you know what?
What do you think? What do you think?
I'll let Shay start.
Shay, you can start.
Do I think
feminism is destroying women?
I don't think so. I think, feminists are people who advocate for our rights and the equality of women and just in every way.
Okay.
So do I think it's destroying? If anything, I think it's empowering women. I think it's showing women that we have a voice. We're able to do a lot of things that we may not, we may have thought we could do. I'm not going to say we can do everything that men can do because men can't do everything that women can do also. But
Agreed.
I think I think it can be a little destructive. I think it can be a little self-sabotaging. Some of those women that go to the extreme. But I think overall, it's about just empowering women and showing women that we are strong. We can do anything we put our minds to, just the way you teach your children. Mm-hmm. That's all I think it's about. I don't think it's destructive.
Okay, so you're looking at me, so I guess it's my turn, right? Okay, so
I like that, though. Let me give it to you. I like that.
I'm not a feminist, okay? So let me start there. So there are certain things that I do disagree with when it comes to feminism. Okay. Now, your question was, is feminism destroying womanhood? I wouldn't use the word destroying, but I would say it does assist in our downfall because what happens is we think, I believe that women and men are 100% equal, but I do believe that our roles are different. So feminism has kind of skewed our perception on a man's role and a woman's role, and then we think that we can equally do things that a man can do, which we cannot, in my opinion. So I do think it is assisting with some of our downfalls when it comes to it. I don't think it's so much destructive, but it is assisting in our demise, if you may.
I think based on what both of you guys said, I'm going to play the middle. I play 50-50. I do believe that there's certain aspects of feminism that is very, very empowering to women. Mm-hmm. And I actually love it because I do believe that women are getting the voices that they do deserve more now than ever. Mm-hmm. And some of them are dragging it, which is crazy but anything that has good has bads, right? It has pros, it has cons. But I do believe that there are good things that do come with feminism as far as showing them that there are boss chicks out here and who's out here handling business and doing what they got to do. But what I see that it has created was the people that aren't the boss chicks and thinking that they are those people that are taking life by the horns and doing what they have to do. I also see that it creates a lot of monsters in a lot of women because of the fact that they believe that it becomes a competitional factor when it comes to dealing with men. Like, you know what? I make money. I got money. I don't need a man. It's weird because I watched the video the other day and it plays in line with this topic. It said they asked about 100 men, would the world be good without women? All the men said no. And then they asked 100 women and all the women said yes. Would the world be good without men? But you know what's weird? And the reason why I say feminism, I think, plays a part in that is because I do believe that a lot of women have become delusional in the sense of realizing that statistics do not favor single mothers. And a lot of the times women don't want to acknowledge that raising children by yourself is kind of like setting your son and daughters up for failure. It's like in the 70th percentile across the board. Most children, men that are incarcerated, come from single mothers, whether male or female. Most children that are homeless come from single mothers. And I'm not blaming single mothers again, but I'm just raising the statistics of facts that exist. Not only that, mental health, low educational levels, separation anxiety, depression, all of these things come from single motherhood. And what I'm saying is because there's not a strong, healthy balance for the child. So I think feminism has created women to believe that, yeah, empowering them, but also created a lot of delusional women too.
So what are your thoughts? Do you have any positive thoughts about feminism?
I think the positive is a lot of women are being recognized for their strengths. I think a lot of women are bigger than the kitchen. I'm gonna say that again. I think a lot of women are bigger than the kitchen. If a man can only see a woman as her ability to be in the kitchen as being a woman or being a house nurturing person, I think that's diabolical. I think there are women who are very, very, very organized, who are very, very strong, who are good leaders. I think they're creating and showing these qualities that a lot of women, on the other hand, wasn't respected. But it's been a lot of the strong men you see that they've had strong women behind them, and it's actually brought a lot of women to the forefront and given them more recognition that they deserve.
I think that a lot of times when we use the word feminist or feminism, we use it out of context.
Yeah.
I think it's really just women coming to the realization that we are more than the kitchen or housewives,
Yes.
stay-at-home moms.
Yes.
So I think sometimes the word is being used a little bit out of context. I don't think it's always being a feminist. I don't think it's always feminism. I think it's just realizing that I'm more than this. Women are realizing that they want to be more ambitious. They want to go out and work. They have dreams. They have aspirations. I mean, let's be real. Having kids, no matter how you want to put it, it slows the mother down than it does the father.
I agree.
A guy is still able to go out there and do a lot of things women can't do. A lot
agree.
of women, from the moment they get pregnant to the moment they give birth, they're sick. They're put on bed rest. They're diagnosed with things like, what is it called? Gestational diabetes. They have just so many things that really kind of sets us back. And then when you give birth, depending if it's natural or cesarean, now you're set back for 6 to 8 weeks, or some people 3 months or even longer. Then you're
Yes.
talking about women that go through why can't I get it? Postpartum.
Yes.
Women that goes through postpartum, like that sometimes can last for a couple of years. So when a woman finally can say to herself, you know what? I feel empowered. I feel like I can do more. I want to do more. I don't think it really has to do with being a feminist. I think that just has to do with being ambitious and wanting to do better and wanting more for yourself and wanting more than what society has said that you are to be.
I
You
agree.
know, just
I agree.
my opinion on it. So.
I agree with that. I agree. I do think in society, you know, I know you're going to disagree with this, Q, but I think that sometimes the expectations of women are a little more than men.
What do you mean by that?
We are just always we're just always expected to just show up, just like men. I'm not taking it away from you, but we have to show up as wives, as mothers. We have to take care of our mental health, the postpartum, those certain things. There's so many physical things that women go through as well as mental, and we have to deal with it simultaneously. Men go through mental and they also go through physical changes also, but women, we hormonally go through physical changes and it affects our mental capabilities at times. But then we still have to physically show up and we still have to physically be okay.
I agree.
So I think that's a lot of pressure on us as women.
I could agree with that statement. But the one thing I will say is a lot of the times the most rewarding job is being a nurturer, right? Because, take that down, corner. A lot of the times the nurturer always gets the love opposed to the provider, right? So I'll give you a story. One time I was talking to a young man and he said, I don't rock with my father. And I said, why you do not rock with your father? He said, because my father was never there. And I said, so your mother spent a lot of time with you? He said, yes. I said, because your father was out providing while your mother was living and being the nurturer because your father gave her the time to be with you because he was providing. I would believe that if men were respected for being nurturers and we took on that role, and the women that want to be so ambitious and we still got the same level of respect, I think more men would take on that role, being that it's more of a rewarding job. I think the nurturer always gets the most, the flowers in a sense, than the person that's out making the sacrifices of being away from his time. There was a video I saw, the father said, every day I would give my kid, I would work 18-hour days just so the mother could wake up and be there every day for my children, right? Because he understands the power and the dynamics of giving them that time. But a lot of times I do believe that that person that does the major sacrifice, which is going to those jobs and busting their bodies up, this is why we don't live long and men pass away very early ages. I do believe that we are designed to the brute work and the grunt work. And I think the grunt work sometimes don't get, it's like in the basketball team, the person that gets the rebounds, people don't care about that. They only care about the scorer. And I think in the household, the women that take care of the children a lot, they're considered the scorers.
I think it's a little unfair to say that, almost saying the provider has the hardest job. I think they're both sacrificial jobs. I think that a woman, someone who stays home to take care of the children, take care of the household, that within itself is work. You know, of course, going out and making money. I mean, a lot more lately, you're seeing two people that are doing that. It's very, not saying that they're not stay-at-home moms, but I'm saying it's a lot more seldom than it was back in the day. Back in the day, it was your job to stay home. Mm-hmm. Now you have two hardworking, you know what I mean? Two hardworking parents, I'm sorry, and just really trying to make ends meet. And the women are still holding down the household. Sometimes I feel like, I don't know in your household how it works when you come home, but in my household, it's like I do the cleaning, I'm cooking, you know, making sure everything is done like with the kids. Like, of course, dad will help with homework and do stuff at times, but I think the brunt of the responsibility in the home falls on the woman while she's also out there making money. I feel like both jobs are,
I think they're necessity,
hard.
extremely.
Yeah.
But if I could really look at it and say that I don't have to go out and get no money and not where I have to work hard, I would prefer to be with my family all day. I would prefer to sit in the house and be with my daughter and my son every day and get to watch them grow up. It's when you work a lot of times you miss very milestones, you miss moments with your children. I do know people that come home every day, especially I give it to my truck drivers, you know, that hit the road and they drive around up and down these roads. Sometimes they come back and their child has aged a month or two.
Yeah.
And they miss milestones in their children's life. But at the end of the day, they realize it's because of I have to do this provision role. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes society is hard on the man, but in reality, they're not looking at the fact that it's America. It's an American problem. It's not a man or a woman problem. I think it's more so an American problem where the cost of living is so extreme that people are literally giving away their life and not having any free time. I remember I used to go to church and I used to watch this father. He used to come in every day and literally fall asleep while he's in church because the only free day he has is to be in church with his family. Personally, I would assume that he would rather be at home sleeping, but he's choosing to be at church with his family, right? Because of the fact that he knows that he wants to still be and have a relationship with his family, with God. But I know once he finishes that, he'll go home and sleep after church and he's right back on the road or he's right back to work. I do believe that 8 hours is not even a normality anymore. We're talking about 10 and 12 hour and 14-hour days is starting to become the normality. Or if a person don't say 14-hour days, we're talking about 2 jobs is starting to become a standard, which is kind of crazy when we are arguing with each other. But in reality, it's not men and women. It's the actual economy's problem that we're dealing with. And a lot of us are trying to adjust and we're taking that on each other.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, Myra.
So when you say that society, when you say that the providers don't get the flowers that they deserve, what would you have it be? Like if society was to give you the flower, what flowers would you like? First
off, I would reinforce Father's Day.
Okay.
When we in the 70th percentile of most children not having fathers, yet and still we don't overly push Father's Day.
Okay.
You know, that right there in itself shows that we have a problem in our society when we identify that there are not a lot of fathers in the Black community. Would you agree?
I
But the
agree.
ones that are, we should overly give them praise because of the fact that they're doing a job. In a lot of cases, they weren't even taught.
Okay.
Right? They weren't even taught it. So they're actually learning something while doing it. I think the greatest parents that I've ever met in my life is a man or a woman who's healing from their trauma while raising children and not trying to pass on their trauma. I think that is the greatest parents on earth. And I'm one of the fathers that actually had to heal from trauma while raising my child and not trying to give them the trauma. And not only that, I was a single father for forever and still learning how to be a nurturer and also a provider. And again, it wasn't easy because usually when there's something that's overly needed, something is naturally neglected. So if I'm overly needed to be a provider, I can't be the greatest nurturer because I'm not going to have the time nor the energy to do both.
Right.
People say balance, but your balance is usually an opposite sex. My balance could only be a woman. Like when they say a man needs to learn balance, providing and nurturing, I'm like, that's why you're supposed to have a great nurturing wife.
So you're saying that pardon me, that a man can't be a nurturer and a provider.
I think he can, but it's something that's definitely going to lack.
Okay.
Because especially if he's overly needed to be a provider, he's going to lack.
So how do we do it?
Right.
I don't think most women are the providers in the household that they say they are.
What?
I think women.
Hold on.
I'm going to say what
you
I think.
just said single mothers.
No, they're single. That's different.
All right.
That's
So
different.
That's not different because you got a woman who's a single mother who is a provider and a nurturer.
Okay.
How does that woman find balance that a man can't find?
So let me ask you this question. If the provider and the nurturer, which is a single mother, is so great, why do statistics not favor her as a single mother? It shows that they actually fail as single mothers. Mass incarceration, mental health, homelessness, low educational levels, extreme. So that means something is clearly lacking if two parents raise healthier children, right? Healthier children naturally, right? But also a single mother literally creates the baddest people in society, in most cases, come from single mothers. So that means something is clearly lacking. Something is clearly lacking. In her mind, she's doing the best she can, and I give her respect. I come from a single mother.
Okay.
She's doing the best she can. But in reality, something is lacking. And I come from a single mother. My mother did the best she could, and I give her flowers and all due respect, but there was definitely things lacking, right? There was definitely cold moments. There were definitely times where we had to figure out eating. There were definitely times where we had to move out because the rent was due, and I'm pretty sure that's more of a commonality than the mother that's a single mother in the household is just great. And a lot of times when she does it, she brings home that energy that she's frustrated from doing it, and you feel it. And I'm being fair.
But I think that would be the same with a single dad. I think it's just any household that's just a single structure, whether you're lacking a father or you're lacking a mom, is going to yield a child that lacks something. You get what I'm saying? Whether
I
it's the
agree.
nurturing part of a mom, whether it's the stern part of the father. I don't think it's so much just single mothers. I think there are single mothers out there that are doing amazing jobs. Let's talk about not the ones that have statistically raised bad kids, but the ones that have statistically raised amazing kids who their kids turn out to be college graduates, not inmates.
That's not the commonality, though.
It may not be the commonality, but it's factual. It happens. You have single
Agreed.
mothers that do amazing.
But
you have
you know-
single fathers that do amazing. Whether it's slim or not, they still need to be recognized.
And even
because
if it's
there are mothers out there that do an amazing job at raising their kids alone.
But you know you'll find a three-legged dog that can walk, right? But most three-legged dogs can't walk. What I'm trying to say, there's always going to be an exception to every rule. But in reality, single fathers have the highest statistics when it comes to single parenthood, equivalent to two parents. Look it up. It's not my statistic. Single fathers have the same equivalence of success rates as two parents. Look it up. Again, when you have these conversations with people that don't do their homework, they just talk, they automatically get offended. But in reality, the major issue is you have people who genuinely believe they don't understand the dynamics of what God created with men and women. The statistics are crazy high
So
for
what
fathers.
is it that you think a
Structure.
So a single mother can't give structure?
I think a lot of times single mothers, and I'm giving them a pass right now, is the fact that a lot of them feel guilty. So a lot of them over coddle, over baby. This is why you see these young men right now who have issues. They have a lot of issues because of the fact that mommy feels guilty. So sometimes mommy, in her defense, she's doing the right thing, but a woman don't know how to raise a man. And then on top of it, a woman, she can raise a daughter, but yet and still don't teach her how to navigate around men. A father teaches her how to do that. So one, a father teaches his daughter how to protect his woman from men, right? And also the father teaches the son how to be a man. So when you remove that, there's an extreme disconnect these children will have. Extreme.
So a single father does a better job parenting on his own than a mother would do parenting on her own.
Yes,
is what you're saying.
and from statistics, yes.
Okay, I need to address that.
Yeah, read the statistics.
Statistics.
I'm going to read the statistics.
And this is not my
'cause
opinion.
We have people in the comments saying that he's wrong. So,
Yeah, I don't
for
really-
example, studies have found that children from single mother households are 5 times more likely to commit suicide than children from both unbroken households and single father households. 9 times more likely to drop out of high school. 10 times more likely to abuse chemical substances. 14 times more likely to commit rape. 20 times more likely to end up in prison. And 32 times more likely to run away from home.
Can I say something about the statistics you just said?
So-
see, the issue is when you're dealing with people who might be in that situation are single mothers, they might be the great ones. But the reality is we have to look at it the totality. There are a lot of women who are single mothers who have major issues. And I'm giving them their grace, right? Because sometimes a lot of men get ran away. They say that the father walked away, but a lot of times we don't acknowledge that there are women who run away fathers. There are women who give a father the hardest time to be a decent father. Because they still haven't healed themselves. And this is an issue that we don't talk about. See, when you bring up these statistics, a lot of times these people, they can go on Google. But again, you don't even have to entertain them. And the reason why I don't entertain it is because I don't go on a podcast and say things that are not factual. I do my research before I say these things. Statistics favor single fathers more than single mothers. And the single mothers that might be decent single mothers, they create them to be the standard. And that's the issue you have when you're having these conversations. There are good single mothers out there who doing the best absolute job that they can. And they do raise decent children. But a lot of times those single mothers, they put a lot of good men energy around them, teaching them that how to see a man, how to see how her daughter should be received by a man. So it's major male factors that play into the development of children that's healthy. I bet you if you ask that son that became that college graduate, he gonna say his basketball coach, he gonna say his high school teacher,
But a lot
he
of
gonna
them
say a
say
lot
their
of them.
mother.
No,
A lot
but
of
their
them
mom
say
gonna
their
get the
mom
flowers
too.
first. The mom will always get the flowers
Yeah.
first. And most kids, your mother could have been a crackhead, but she's still gonna get the flowers. If your
I
father
don't know. I don't
crackhead,
like this. This is. I feel like there's just.
Go ahead.
There's one more important stat, and it's the economic standing. Single fathers genuinely have higher median incomes and lower poverty rates
Yes.
than single mothers.
Yes.
I want to
That's
address
I'm just
something
being honest.
that you
24%
said.
versus
Statist-
43%.
It's not our opinion.
It's the stats.
It's not our
Okay,
opinion.
Stats are stats. Cool. I just want to address something
Fighting
you said.
stats is diabolical.
You said, but stats don't mean everything. That's
Yeah.
that's just a standard.
That means
or a
we're ignoring
baseline to
reality.
go
That means
for.
we're ignoring reality.
Okay.
If I said to you right now, your son is in an environment right now where 7 out of 10 kids go to jail, and you say, well, I'm not going to listen to stats, that means you're a bad parent. If I give you even worse, I say your son live in an environment where 9 out of 10 young black men go to jail, and you say, I'm going to ignore that because of stats. That's not good parenting.
All right.
You see what I'm saying? So we can't pick and choose what stats apply to us and what stats don't. The stats are stats, right? So again, if I say right now your son lives in an environment where 9 out of 10 black men go to jail, you're gonna be like, I'm ignore that, and then your son be the 9 out of 10 that go to jail. There will be exception, which is that one, but in reality, the statistics don't lie. They just don't lie. You know, I'm just being honest.
I'm going to address something you said, though. You said
Wilson?
that stuck out to me. You said a single father equates to 2 parents in the home, correct?
Yes, statistically.
Statistically.
Yes.
And we just went. So what do you think a single father is going to send out there as a product of society without him being raised, he or she being raised by their mother? Isn't there going to be something that's going to be lacking, as you stated, with a single mother?
Okay, the reason why we have to acknowledge this, and this is what y'all don't understand when we have these conversations, and not saying y'all, but I'm talking about everybody on the podcast, right? What I'm saying in general, when a man, in most cases, get custody of a child, in most cases, he is extremely proven beyond a reasonable doubt to be a good person.
Okay.
There are a lot of women, just because of courts, they have custody of their children. Not every mother that have custody of their child is a good mother.
Okay.
And that's what y'all don't acknowledge. And that's why we have an issue when we have these
acknowledge
conversations.
that. That's
no,
true.
there are every father that gets custody of their children, in most cases, they're definitely good fathers. Like I got custody of my son. I had to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that I'm a good father. But a lot of the women, they could be the bums of all bums and still gonna have custody of their child. Because by statistics, it favors them either way. If a child goes to jail, he's still favoring the system. If your child is in debt with college, he's still favoring the system. So regardless of whatever, they're gonna get something out of this child. And most kids that come from social services and welfare, they're preparing them for what? The daughters become the incubators for the children that they have that end up in what? Incarcerated. It's just what it is.
I guess everyone can speak from their experience and what they know and what they see. I came from a single mom. She
Me
came
too.
from a single mother. I know a lot of single mothers
Mine
out
too.
there that are doing great jobs. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, you know, whatever, because statistics says that. That's not what I'm seeing. And I could base everything on not just me as a standard, but what is it that I'm seeing out
Agreed.
there from a lot of these single mothers.
Wow.
I see a lot of single mothers that are working very hard, that are doing the absolute best they can, that are raising amazing kids, that
I agree.
are nurturing their children while going to work, while being providers. And I get it that, you know, yes, you have some, you know,
Most.
Because
you
when
have
you
some
say
exceptions to the rules, but,
No, but
we're
if
going to give these
statistics say
women their
that-
flowers because I feel like you don't want to give us our flowers, Q.
No, that's not the case. I'm telling the statistics.
I have a group of
You
friends.
seem like you
No,
don't.
I can't ignore statistics because I have friends that all my friends own homes. I can't
your
make
friends are what?
All my friends own homes.
Okay.
But black people own less homes today, right? Yeah. So why I'm gonna create my situation to be everybody's
Not
situation?
creating your situation, but it's acknowledging your surrounding. Do you feel that, from what you've seen, do you feel like you see a lot of single mothers that have raised great kids, or do you feel like from what you see,
I
you
do
a lot
see-
of single
I do
mothers
see more
raising
ca-
kids in broken
At-
homes?
at
and
one point, I've been-
jailbabes
at one
and
point,
mental health issues.
At one point, I've been to prison, right?
Okay.
And when I was in prison, all I do is hear a bunch of young men who clearly should have, if they had their father around, they'd have been more structured. So what I'm saying is, I've been in there, and most of the men that I met there didn't have fathers. From there always will be an exception where he had a two-parent home and they rebelled and they went the opposite direction. It happens. But in most cases, it's always the broken home that creates the broken person, that creates the broken person.
I don't think every broken home creates broken children. Though.
I don't say it all the time.
Yeah,
I said in
don't.
most
You said it's
cases.
always, so
No, I
always
said in
means-
most cases, statistics show that most kids who come from a broken home will be broken. Most kids who come, look, right now we in generations at third and fourth generation of people that are on social services and welfare. I did say most. I said most. Most homes create broken children who come from broken homes. And the issue is when you're dealing with people who don't acknowledge that the number one factor for why these children are having problems is because our culture, and someone hit the nail on the head, the 1968 sellout, I'm happy you said that. That's when we took the social services, our women, and they pushed out the men. And when they pushed out the man, they gave their children to jails. They gave their daughters to early childhood development and pregnancy. Statistics flew to the moon, all mad in our favor. Educational levels pummeled. Everything changed when we started to take on government assistance.
I agree with that.
I
part.
think, just like someone in the comments said, Dimple said, a man cannot teach a little girl how to be a woman. Just the way you say a woman, I agree that women cannot teach men how to be men. You could raise a child to the best of your ability. I have 2 sons. I can't teach my sons how to be men. That's their father's job. But you can't teach your daughters how to be women.
No,
So
but a lot of times it's easier for a man that's a single father to find a mother figure for.
A mother figure.
It's easier.
But you don't think that
You know
that
why?
has
Because
some
more
type of a-
grandmothers and more people, I feel like he's so structured that he will have structure around the kid. I'm just being honest. I've met more women who are single mothers and to bring me around their kid within a day or two of meeting them than a man. And I'm being honest. This is my experience. I know a lot of women who will have a baby with a man and meet a new man and bring a new man around their kid very fast.
Yeah.
Y'all might not be like that, but a lot of women I know will literally meet you and bring you right around their kid like it never happened. There was a saying when I was growing up, he or she has a lot of uncles. Where does that term come from? Your mother's a hoe. That's what it means. But again, we have to acknowledge that this is an issue. The men that usually are holding their children or taking on their children, they're more reserved with letting children come around women. I'm being honest with you. A lot more. I'm just being fair. It sounds like I'm being on the man's side, but a lot of times I say things that sound like it may be offensive to women, but I'm like, at the same time, there will always be an exception. We can't make the exception the rule. The rule is the rule. And the issue that we're having in our society is the fact that we don't value or see. I only see black women online screaming how they don't need black men to raise their kids that they took two to make. I only see black women talking like that. I don't see no Asian women talking like that. I don't see no Spanish women like that talking like that. I see black women screaming about how they don't need the black men, and then every time you look at statistics, it don't match what they're saying. It don't match.
So you only hear black women saying that. You don't hear any.
No, I see other cultures, but not to the magnitude of black women. I'm being fair.
And why do you think that is?
I think because a lot of us are broken. So guess what? We feel like I'll go like this. You see the kids that are so bad nowadays? These are generational children who've been in the ghetto. So if you take the first generation, which is the grandfather, he took a bath in like some dirty water. Then he made the father take the bath in that same dirty water. Now you taking a bath in that same dirty water. By the time it got to you, the third generation, you don't even realize that you're taking a bath in dirty water. And now your children, which is the great-grandkids, they're taking baths in dirty water. They don't even see that as dirty. That's what's going on in the bad areas. They've gotten so bad is because they've been in a condition for so long. So they don't see that as a bad thing. And that's the same thing you see, that the girls who come from single mothers, they tend to believe that they don't need a man because they were taught that they don't need a man. Most single women know, they teach their kids how to be single people. And I'm just being honest. Because there's a difference between being strong. Being vulnerable is still strength. Black culture is taught that vulnerability is weak, but it's not. You're taught that by saying, I need a woman, I'm weak. No. Me saying I need a woman speaks logical because a woman is my healthy balance. The only time you meet a person that doesn't understand a healthy balance is a person that is not healthy. An unhealthy person will always say, oh, I don't need a man or I don't need a woman because they're not healthy. Healthy people know the power of unity. Healthy people know the power of togetherness, collectiveness.
I mean, I don't really hear anyone saying that they don't need a father for their kids. That's crazy.
Wow.
If you have
Wow.
women going around saying
Wow.
that. I don't. I'm just being
I'm not
honest.
saying you.
I don't hear
Wow.
women that I know in my circle going around saying that
I can't
don't
create my
have-
circle to be the normal. That's
I don't-
crazy.
But it's
My best friend
norm.
is
That's
worth
what I
$7 million.
I don't.
My right-hand man is worth $6 million. I'm going to say this is my friends. All my friends is millionaires. My mentor is a billionaire.
But
I can't
when you
take
say
my
black
circle and make it
women,
normal.
I'm talking about the black women that I know. I don't hear these women going around saying, I don't need fathers for my children. I don't hear it.
But
So I
in
can
most
only
cases,
be honest of what I know.
But the only way to have these conversations, if you can't remove yourself out of your circle, then you can't see the realities of the world. I'm not in a world where my daughter's in a good school district and all these things, but I still have to worry about those children that aren't.
Of course.
But again, if I've only seen my vision in my world, then I'm not worried about my culture. But my culture is suffering right now because of the fact that we do have a bunch of broken people who are creating broken people, and they're hurting our culture.
No, I'm listening to understand, but I'm saying that if I don't see it, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I'm not going to agree with someone saying that you have black women above all races going around screaming that they don't need fathers to their kids.
Wow.
It's okay for me to disagree with that.
How you feel about that?
I personally, I don't hear it either.
I don't hear it. What do you want me to say? I don't
like you
hear
said,
it.
if we putting ourselves the statistics, right? So from what I hear, I don't hear anyone around me saying I don't need a father for my child.
We don't hear that.
These women don't just decide. I'm not a single mother, but these women just don't decide.
She lied.
I want to be a single.
But who's saying that though? Who's getting up saying that I don't need a father for my child?
You know who's saying that? I'm
Raise
gonna tell
children by
you. You know who's saying that?
themselves.
See, that's what I try to explain to you. Do you believe that more men are broken or more men are whole?
More men are broken or
Whole?
More men are broken.
Broken or whole?
whole.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
In your opinion.
Okay, are we
Based
gonna
on the
put,
traumatic experiences,
There's a
based
lot
on
of
the way they were
broken men
raised.
out here. There's
a lot of
Okay,
broken
so now let me go to
men,
this question. Do you believe that more women are broken or more women are whole?
A lot of broken women too.
So if there's a lot of broken women, that mean they're going to create broken situations.
so we're men.
Agreed. That's what, but we're saying the same thing. But what I'm saying in most cases, y'all automatically granted custody. They don't evaluate y'all as parents when it comes to getting custody of y'all children. They just give y'all the kid.
Because we
A man has to literally prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he's a good person to even see or get rights to his child. A lot of women are just granted custody because the assumption that we assume is that every woman is a good person, which is not true.
I agree with that.
I agree with
there
that as
are
well.
mothers that just have kids and are not good mothers. We do see that. Now, if you want to say something that we can see and we have this personally experienced, I see a lot of bad mothers, horrible mothers. And me and Shay have this conversation all the time. I think the worst thing in the world you can be is a horrible mother because you choose to do that.
Yeah.
So, you can steal, you can unalive people, you can grape people, whatever it is. But the worst thing you can be is a bad mother.
I agree.
But in the same breath, these women don't choose to just be single mothers. They go in sometimes, most of the time, they go into these relationships or situations with the intention of raising the kids together. And it just doesn't work like that
Right.
because
I
it's
agree.
mommy's baby, daddy's
Maybe.
baby. He's able to walk out and say, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. And that's it. So now we, by default, have the child automatically. So it's not a life that women are choosing. They're not choosing to be single mothers. It's just happening that way.
Now they are when they're not married and having children.
No, but I think a lot of women.
Let me say that again. They are when they're choosing to have children by people they're not married by. A man that
But
didn't give you a
everybody's got
commitment.
kids ain't married, Q.
But
We know
again, that's
that.
still a choice that you've made.
Oh, okay.
Accountability is a hell of a
Yeah,
drug.
of course. For sure.
Accountability is a hell of a
For
drug.
sure.
If you choose to have a baby with someone you're not married to, that means there was no commitment before a child. So therefore, you're having a baby by someone and expect them to stay with you forever when they never married you. Let me ask y'all both a question. Young black man in a courtroom, right? Young black man in a courtroom. When he walks in the courtroom, let's say he's in there for a pew.
Okay.
In most cases, do they automatically see him guilty? Out of 10 times, how many times do you think that courtroom going to see him guilty? As soon as he walk in there?
10 times.
10 times out of 10? So how the hell does it change when we go to family court? It's still the same thing, still the same connection. So when a man goes over to family court, he is still looked at as guilty the same way it is in a criminal court situation. It doesn't change. It is the same thing. A man coming over to criminal court and our family court, they're looked at as the same way across the board. Only way to prove that you're not that person is by hiring a lawyer the same way in a criminal situation. The only way a man can prove that he is something better than not is by getting a lawyer to voice his, to speak up for him, which we call a mouthpiece. Otherwise, that man going into a family court, he's looked at as trash. And it's just like, we just didn't work out. It happens. Because I'm a bad man to you don't mean I'm a bad father.
Right. I do think, though, more than none, you have a lot of people that aren't in relationships, that have unprotected sex. The woman get pregnant. She decides she's keeping a baby with somebody she barely knows. Someone who, a lot of times, I had a friend who the guy told her straight up, this is a casual relationship. This is not that. She got pregnant. He told her he didn't want the child. She ended up having the child. He went away. It was crazy. She needed to take her for child support, this, that. Now, do I believe that whether or not you say you want a casual relationship or not, if you're having unprotected sex, the chances of the chance of a woman getting pregnant is more likely than not if you're having unprotected sex. So that responsibility lies on both. But I think as women, we need to be smarter in terms of screening. And when I say screening, getting to know the person that we're with. What are we dating for? Are we dating casually?
I agree.
Are we dating for long term?
Right.
Because having a child is not just bringing a child into this world. You know what I'm saying? It's so much more than that. And a lot of kids now are coming into the world just off of two people just having sex. And I got pregnant and I just want to keep the baby. You get what I'm saying? It's no longer the plan and you guys want to be together. Or this is the person you want to be with forever and you're creating kids. You have so many people that have kids that they can't even afford, that they can't take care of. You had the first one you were struggling. You had the second one you struggling more. You had the third one you struggling even more. But you just keep on having babies. So I feel like you have those situations as well. So
it's a lot of those.
I don't know. It's
right.
Someone said you proved this point. That's how I feel. I think you're a great mother. I honestly think so. Right? But I do believe that sometimes when we
I
create...
know I'm a great mother. Thank you.
But I gave you credit. I think so. Right? And when I say I think, I mean it. I know so. Right? But I do say this. In the same regards, sometimes we have to acknowledge that more people are less like you than are like you. Most boys, if you sit them down, all my men that's on the live right now, and I just want y'all to, all the men, only answer this question. For all the men that's on the live right now, answer this question. Was your first emasculation, meaning the first woman that ever insulted or disrespected you, your mother? Was that the first woman that called you out your name, disrespect you, and set the standards of how you receive a woman talking to you was most likely your mother? Yes, look. Yep. I'm saying, look. What I'm trying to explain to you is we have more similarities than we don't. But a lot of times there are exceptions there. Look at them, yes, look at that. Si, senor. Look, mother, look.
Not si, senor.
See what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to explain to you is when we have these discussions, a lot of times we create our standards to be life's standards. More so people fail because of their situation opposed to their starting point rather than their opportunities. Yes, we can say America has a lot of opportunities, but here's the thing: an opportunity doesn't look like an opportunity when you're around people that they'll show you that you have opportunities. Opportunities you can only see an opportunity when you're around people that are actually monetizing and doing the opportunity. When you're in the hood, you don't see opportunities because of the fact that no one is doing anything. So therefore, you think that it's normal. Being in an environment where you think that it's healthy, because again, you have to see it. Exposure leads to expansion. The mind isn't exposed, the mind doesn't expand. And most people haven't expand is because they're not exposed. More so, black families are struggling because more so, I hate to say this, most black women see the black man as their enemy. They see him as their enemy. I don't know how it got this way, but this is where we at now. Most black women see the black man as their enemy.
I disagree.
Yes.
I disagree with that.
That's not you.
Yeah.
But you know what it is?
Most black women see black men as the enemy. Why do you think that is?
I think because a lot of them, they haven't accepted the fact that they've chosen bad people and they put us all in a box based on their decision making. One thing I've realized is that a lot of women get in bed with horrible guys, right? And then they blame all men for the decision they've made. A lot of times they get older, they get more mature, then they say, oh my God, I should have dated Tyrone who wanted me, who was the good guy who went on and became a MTA worker, an accountant, a doctor, or a professional. Meanwhile, you wanted the scammer, the drug dealer, and then now you look at it like, damn, I should have chose this man, and now you're mad at the men for the decision that you've made. A lot of times we overlook it because the older women who aren't teaching these younger girls how to even look for a good man, because a lot of them don't even know what a good man is because they still looking for their daddies.
I know what a good man is. I had my daddy, so.
You know? But like I said, when we had these conversations, I don't come on here to diss my women. I do raise the awareness of my black women. I think my black sisters need to understand the importance of no matter what, keeping your child around their father, unless they've done things that are diabolical as men, meaning touched someone and done things that are extremely unnecessary for this person to be around this child.
But how do you force? You can't force a man to be.
I do believe there are situations where you have to force them. I do believe it.
My sisters, and we know now, I'm not going to put too much of her stuff business out here, but she's going through that.
Yes.
You know, she was married. She's no longer married. But now he doesn't want to be a father. He's completely running from his responsibilities. So what did it do? Made her a single mother overnight. So now she has to take on this trauma of her already being in a divorce, now being a single mother, having to raise 2 children on her own. So it is circumstantial.
I do agree with that, but the scary part is a lot of the times those mothers, right? The healthiest thing a mother can do as a single mother is never date or entertain a man that doesn't accept her children. There are situations where women will date men who don't even entertain their children or care about their children.
Oh, yeah.
Secondly, there are women who hold their sons to higher regards than the men that they sleep with. The man that you're complaining about me not being is sitting on the couch playing video games and you sleep with him. But yet and still you judge me as your son harder than you judge the man that you're intimate with. That's crazy. Look at the man you sleeping with and you telling your son how to be. Right? And a lot of times we don't want to hear this truth. A lot of women complain about men and then you raise this man around you. Okay, you had a son, right? You had a son. And now the next man you decide to get intimate with should be a great example of a decent man. But yet and still you bring a bum around your son and then you tell your son you want your son to be here. That is a delusion on a whole nother level. And I see that extremely.
I agree
with that.
You know?
So what I'm gathering from this, ladies, I'm talking to the ladies, is that maybe we should choose better, huh? Is that what you're saying?
100%.
But we're not choosing great role models, great men.
And I give them the reasoning because they didn't have examples. A lot of them didn't have examples.
I agree with that. And I do agree with another thing that you said. And I hate to admit it, but I think we go for what we like and and we don't go for what's good for us.
Yep.
We have a preference of men or whatever, and we always go for that.
Yep.
And we need to start going for the men that are good for us.
Can you give a round of applause because that sounds like accountability? Listen, my sisters, I have to be the bearer of bad news. Uncle Q will tell the truth. If you are sleeping with guys, right, you are the gateway to sex. A woman is the gateway to sex. She has the master key and the master lock to sex. If a woman sleeps with a bum and then complain about the bum that she got intimate with, the real problem is the woman. Why would you allow a man to enter your queendom when you didn't realize that he was worthy of it? Only a king should be allowed in your queendom.
I agree.
But you allow a peasant into your queendom, and then you complain about the peasant you allowed in your queendom. That's the issue we got to acknowledge.
I agree.
And then when we talk these conversations, some people are like, yo, oh my God, it ain't no good men out here. Then keep it between your legs until you find one. Stop rushing into bed.
I do agree with that.
But I do respect the woman that be like, I've been celibate for the XYZ amount of times. There are women who can't even be celibate just like men. They sleep around just like dudes. Just like dudes. And that's the issue that we have. And I do believe all my men on my live right now, y'all, for those, and I'm going to blow y'all up too, for the men that take advantage of women that you know that got mental issues, meaning she got a lot of trauma, you the problem too. You sick too. If you meet a girl and you know for a fact that she has daddy issues, she has these kind of issues, and you take advantage of her, you a predator.
Okay, Q, but stop saying that. What about if you meet a good woman and you take advantage of her?
He's still a predator too.
Take out because I feel
He's
like
still a predator, but I'm just saying that they're
to seem like we got
no,
issues.
but I'm just saying that there are
What
women.
about a good woman that a man meets and he's just taking advantage of her?
There's situations that, but she should have more discernment. What I'm trying to say, she should have more discernment. If I have two children, right? I have two children. If one of the children are 10 times more responsible than the other children, I'm gonna hold the other child to higher regards. So what I'm trying to say is, if you take a woman who's legit more mentally stable than a woman that's not, and you hold them in the same regards, that's not fair. If I meet a woman, let's say you grew up with your mother and father in a stable home that you saw married your whole life, right? And then you go on and do the opposite of what you saw in your house, your parents ain't the problem, you the problem. Right? But if you're a person that grew up and you did not see that in your house, I can understand why you chose someone that is bad because you may not have seen it. So to you, a relationship in most cases is gonna look like what? Social media. It's gonna look like what's around you. It's gonna look like what people told you. It's not, you don't have a great reference to example it from. So therefore, you're gonna more likely choose what the environment told you is cool. That's why a lot of girls choose bad boys, because a lot of the older girls in my neighborhood chose the bad boys.
But what about the trauma that does go on in the two-parent home? Because there's a lot
That
of
happens
that.
too.
I grew up in a two-parent home, and trust me, it was a lot of trauma and dysfunction in a two-parent home. So it can breed some of the same results.
I agree.
Even though a son doesn't come from a single father home. He may have had his father, but he may have picked up some of those habits or those traits that he saw his father do to his mother. Now he's a woman beater, or he may have substance abuse. It could be so many different things. That wasn't my story, but you know, every family has trauma and things in their house.
But substance abuse can be passed on in your genes. It's naturally passed on in your genes. That could have came from your great grandfather.
I heard that.
It's true.
Really?
It's proven fact. Proven fact. All that comes from something. 100%.
I just
you could,
think
your
that
great grandfather could have been an alcoholic. I think it's about the 50 to 60 percentile that you can pass on substance abuse to the next generation through your genetics.
Listen.
70 to 80%, right? That you can pass on
Now, I believe the
substance
alcoholism.
abuse
My
to your
family
children
is a
from
bunch of-
It could be from 4 generations
All of
ago,
them.
but it could come down, right? And it's just what it is. Miss Davis, you need to read. Miss Davis, she need to read. She need to read a little bit. She need to read a little bit. Because like I said, if you want to call me one-on-one, we could do this. We could do this whole thing. I'm trying to tell you, I don't sit here and just talk. Men do have trauma. Women have trauma. We both have trauma. But the issue is, what I'm trying to explain to you is, I genuinely believe that women are the gateway to sex.
Yes.
So when there's a movie, I don't know if you remember, it was The Shy, when the women stopped having sex, the crime rate dropped.
What was it called?
The Shy. When the
The
crime
Shy.
rate, yeah, when the women stop having sex with the guys, the crime rate dropped.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is, these guys that sag their pants, they still get sex. These guys that don't work jobs, they still get sex. These guys, this is the issue. You still rewarding these bums.
I can agree
Someone
with that.
said earlier, love yourself. And I do agree with that. Love yourself and stop settling for these losers. And therefore, they will have to step their game up.
But what about women that don't have that trauma, that were raised in two-family households, that still settle for that? That's still...
She has issues still. There's something there. She doesn't know her worth. How you don't know what you didn't see? Like, for instance, I know what a good woman is because I come from a good mother. So I always held a woman at those regards. Right? I don't tell her, a woman will never love me to the magnitude of my mother. I hate when people say, find a man that loves you more than your father. That's never gonna happen. A good father you could never love a daughter more than a good father. So if your man loves you more than your father, then your father was a bad father. Hands down. And if you met a woman that loves you more than your mother was a bad mother. You don't even gotta ask no more questions. The moment you realize that your girl loved you more than your mother, then your mother was a bad mother. If you meet a man that loves you more than your father was a bad father. There is nothing else to say. Your father was a bad father. It's just what it is. If a person loves my daughter more than me, that mean I'm a horrible dad. My daughter, the first love of her life is supposed to be me. My first love of my life is supposed to be my mother. When God created man and woman, he knew what he was doing. Your first wife is your mother. Your first husband is your dad. But again, sometimes we say, oh my God. First off, let's go to this conversation now. How many women you know, we're being fair, who have babies with guys who don't take care of their first kid and still have a baby with them?
Yeah.
I know a lot of girls like that.
Yeah, they'll have a
He don't even take care of the first kid.
I think what you said, but even before I get to that, what I think is important is to bring a man into your life that doesn't accept your children. And we know women, I know somebody that's like that right now, that the person that she's with is just for her and she's just for him. And it's like F the kids. And I find that to me to be just so crazy that you could even entertain a guy in your most private, who isn't even really, and you know what I'm talking about, I'm really not even giving two F's about your kids. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like once you accept the cow, you got to accept the calves. Because we all come together. Right. So if a man isn't going to accept my children, I need to see how you move with my kids before I even entertain you.
100%.
There's no room for us to be anything. And when I say that, I don't mean necessarily because I know some guys don't want to play stepdaddy because if the dad is there or whatever, but I just need to see how you move around my children, show some kind of care, concern, some level of something before I could even entertain the possibility of a relationship with you. And I think a lot of women don't do that. If the guy gives them the time of day, then that's just it. You know what I'm saying? So...
And ladies, also pay attention to how a man deals with his kids. Like, if you meet a man and he has children and you don't hear him talk about those kids or going to see those kids, or I got to see my kids this weekend, I got to call my kids, or the kids not calling him. If that man has children and you don't hear him having any interaction with those kids, red flag. Now you need to be asking questions.
Red flag.
What is the relationship with your kids?
Yes.
Because, my baby mother is... No, you got to get away because... there's a disconnect there. So don't think for a second if you and him have a child it's going to do any better. So you just have to pay attention to the relationship that men have with their children.
I agree.
100%.
Bless you. And that'll tell you a lot about a man. That needs to be one of y'all first questions when dating. Do you have kids? How was your relationship with your children? And that'll tell you a lot about his personality. Then you can decide if you want to give him some from there.
I would say, like, when you take 10 men, right before intimacy, I think out of 10 men, maybe 2 of them have the level of discernment to stop going all the way through with sex. I think 8 out of 10 men, they don't have that ability to say, you know what, let me stop. And I think it will go higher if she smells. But in most cases...
Wait, what?
If she smells. If she stinks. But in most cases, most men do not have that level of discernment to stop going all the way through with intimacy.
Because y'all lack self-control.
100%. And I'm going to agree with 100%. But that's why I say the women, they're more conscious before sex. They are way more conscious.
Very much.
And from my experience, like, I've met women who will be like, you know what? I don't want to do this. And I'm talking about, I know I got a moody all the way there and could still stop. Most men don't have that level of discernment. And I'm just being honest with you. They don't have it.
Ladies, what happened to the 90-day rule? Remember there was like a 90-day rule before you give up sex?
I don't think there's a 90-day rule.
I feel like nowadays it's easier.
You don't follow that. I feel like you know when you're ready. You know what I'm saying? There's no rule. I'm not saying you should be. Correct. I never, no one night stand, no 1 week, but that's up to you. It's your kitty. Whoever you want to.
There's somebody said a second ago that That's not a discernment. Men are making excuses. There's no accountability. The issue is when you have women telling men how we feel, that's when you have a problem. I can understand you, right? Yeah. And I can see what I see, right? But I can't know how a woman thinks. Would you say that before sex, do you have the ability to stop? Like you get all the way to the end and be like, I'm good.
Yes.
Of course.
That's what I'm trying. Most men don't have that ability. To my men that's on my live, do you agree with that statement?
Yeah.
I might have it, but most men don't. They just don't have it. And I'm not making an excuse. It's because they're dogs.
Yeah.
They're dogs. A man is described as a dog. You ever seen a dog horny?
Yeah.
They don't have, look, all these men, true, yes. Most men don't. And it's again, to my ladies, in order to learn men, when you're hearing a man talk, learn. This is how they are. So therefore, I'm telling you, you have the master key, and you can say, you know what? Let me stop this here. Yeah. Because you have that discernment. There are situations where a man, he's stronger than a woman physically, right?
Right.
That's why I said women are mentally stronger than men.
Right.
Men are physically stronger than women.
Yes.
This is what I'm trying to explain. It's not an excuse, but it's just reality.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think that most men, your first impression when you meet a woman is
sex? I don't care about her brain. Yes.
And a woman is looking at a potential husband when she sees a certain type of man.
Most cases, yes.
So you think we're always on opposite ends of the... Okay.
In most cases. A man can get to that point where his maturity has matched yours.
Okay.
But a lot of those men come with a lot of experience.
Okay.
So over time, a man can build that level of discernment. But in most cases, a lot of us don't have that discernment. There are men that do have that discernment. But in most cases, they come with a lot of experience. A lot. Right? And a lot of times, they usually have things to lose. So therefore, they choose not because what they have to lose is like, you know what? It's not worth me taking this risk. So let me think. So he's thinking about what he's created and can lose if he thinks with his bottom head. If you look at the logic, when God created man and woman, he gave y'all two lips. He gave y'all top lips and bottom lips, right? Agree?
Agreed.
But he gave men two lips, two heads.
Some two lips too.
No, men got two heads. Naturally, men have two heads. But watch the narrative. When women started thinking with their bottom lips and men started thinking with their bottom head, that's when society went haywire. And I'm going to go further into why I'm saying that. Watch this. When a man don't use his top head and uses his bottom head, more than likely he's in a bad position.
Okay.
Right? Fast forward. Women, when they use their top lips and understand that this right here controls anything what a man do. This thing right here can make a man move a mountain or can make a man not even move.
I agree with that.
So what I'm trying to say is the women that use their bottom lips is the reasoning why society is wrong. Men that use their bottom heads, women that use their bottom lips have created the issue why you see in society that we're dying as a culture. The woman can easily say, hey, babe, it would have been nice if you had washed the dishes. He is more inclined to want to do that. But the woman that thinks with her bottom lips is going to say something like, you bum them, don't want to wash the dishes. Don't understand that you'll get a better response because the bottom lips is talking. And the same with the man's head. When he looks at a woman who has absolutely nothing and say, I'm going to hit that, get that pregnant, and complain about the fact that I got a bum baby mother because you was thinking with your bottom head. God has made us thinkers. Use your brain. But a lot of times we are ignorant in ourselves that we can't hold ourselves accountable to our own level of decisioning. I
agree.
All right, so let's wrap this all into feminism. So feminists, they like to a lot of times say they don't need a man and, you know, they can make their own this and that. But we have a stat that says almost 70% of high net worth women have wealth generated from divorce. So how do you guys feel about that? If feminists get their own bag and they do everything, they don't need a man, how come 70% of high net worth women have wealth generated from divorce?
Why are we women bashing today?
No, he's asking a question. He's asking a question.
A genuine question.
No, what do you think about
feminism?
Do I think that most of the women's wealth comes from divorce? I mean, some, yes, some for sure, because but is it from divorce from just the man or what you guys created together? Because if you created a home together, a family together, and you get a divorce, she's just getting her part. It's 50-50, no? The woman's not getting everything. I don't see a woman walks away with 100%.
And I think those statistics, honestly, are going to apply to a certain demographic of people.
Yeah.
Definitely not our demographic.
I'm happy you said that. Because, you know, when I'm watching, I'm looking, I'm picking up the live. I'm like, my wealth. And then you go look at these people, they don't have no wealth. Like, it's scary how we are. You know, the other day I had a guy in my shop, he was talking about Amon Shumpert and Tiana Taylor divorce. I'm like, fam, you're not Amon Shumpert. Your wife is not Tiana Taylor. Y'all, more divorces is non-contested and nothing is being sorted out
Right.
when they're divorcing.
Right.
We have
Most
more of
people
those
that get
divorces.
divorced in our culture is non-contested
Non-contested.
and nothing is being lost.
Right.
That's just reality.
Agreed.
Right.
The only time you see something that in most cases that is being contested, if a woman is going after the man's pension.
Yeah.
I do see that a lot.
That's what I'm
Right,
saying.
right. Right.
Tyler, fix that.
So half
Right.
the time when you say
Her.
women are getting wealthy from divorces, unless
That's the
you
wealthy
guys
culture.
built a
That's
whole
the
lot
wealthy
of stuff.
That's the wealthy
together.
culture.
If you out here just splitting clothes,
Pull it over. No, top. No,
no,
look.
What are we really talking
Move
about?
that over, yeah.
Some of y'all,
Definitely a
even with the
certain
laundry,
Try one,
demographic.
let me get
y'all
you
pay
again.
with.
100%.
Seriously.
Both cases. I do believe that
Yeah.
we wouldn't be mad if we really follow what and got
Right?
mess with people that are like yoked. Yoked meaning a person that has something to lose too. A table can't stand with one set of legs. A table stands with two sets of legs. And if you're dating somebody that's an extra set of legs, the table balances out. A table can't stand when somebody tell me, how is a table standing when you only have one set of legs? A table's supposed to stand with two sets of legs. And when you have two sets of legs, now you see the equal balance in the table. And now you can start adding things onto the table and it balances out.
You know, as you were saying something about the women in feminism, it came to my mind how when we see, if we're going to go celebrity-wise, guys, for a second, how we talk about how you guys pick women. You see a lot of these celebrities that are being divorced from their non-celebrity wives, and the wives are taking them for everything. You see a lot of these women that don't want to get married because the husband wants them to sign a prenup and they don't want to. But why do you feel like, since you talk about a lot of black men, I'm going to straight to black women. I'm sorry, I'm going to straight to the black men. Why do you feel like a lot of black men stray away from their culture in terms of you guys go for these exotic women, whether it's white women, Spanish women, or whatever, and then when it's all said and done, they don't really want y'all for anything but the money anyway, because if you guys don't have anything, they don't want you. But a lot of times you're built up by black women. We're the one that supported you, you know, did everything, took out loans, you know what I'm saying? $250 a month, right, Myra?
Right. We go
A lot
through the
of stuff,
trenches
did a lot of
with
stuff. We
y'all.
go through the
And then
trenches with y'all.
I would answer
We
it.
go through the
Different.
trenches with y'all to help y'all to really build y'all up. And then when you get to where you need to get to, then you kind of
Get like a trophy wife, like you almost go
Then
for
it's no
like,
longer your
it's
black
no longer
women.
us.
I do believe that we in most cases, those guys that usually do it, they are raised by black mothers. And I do believe that the black women that helped them was the black mothers who will be rewarded for doing that. But I do believe that the reason why a lot of black men are leaving black women is because of their mouths. I do believe that a lot of black women are very disrespectful. I do believe that black women talk crazy to their men. And a lot of them are not fighting the man that they're having in their house. They're fighting the father that wasn't there for them. And I believe that it took me years to understand that aspect also. I fought against manhood because I didn't understand what a man was. So therefore I posed as a man, acted more as a man than I actually was because I didn't know what it was. So a lot of the times these women who you seeing are fighting against men, you supposed to, what are they saying? Where you gonna cash at me? That's a conversation you're supposed to be having with your father. Let's keep going. Where you flying me out? That's a conversation you're supposed to have with your daughter. That's why I make sure I do spa dates with my kid. Me and my daughter going to a spa date. So therefore a man, I'm gonna tell her a man doesn't have to do this for you. But a man should be able to do it, but he shouldn't have to, right? Your natural hygiene should be yourself, right? A man is supposed to upgrade your life. A man is not supposed to carry you through life. A man is supposed to upgrade your life, but not carry you through life. I think we've been taught wrong that a man is supposed to carry a woman through life. But what is the process? What is a woman? When God created man, he created a man and he took a woman from his rib. And when he took the woman, right, the woman was created to be his helpmate. So if a man is failing and you're in a relationship with a failing man, then you're a failing woman also. And that's what we don't understand. We look at it, how are you calling yourself team players, but you're looking at your partner as a loser when y'all both losing? If he's losing, if she's losing, we're both losing. There's no way a woman can look me in my face and say she's my woman and she's begging one of my family members or her family member to borrow money and I call myself a man. And there's no way a woman is looking for another man to borrow money from when she has a man at her house.
Okay.
That means she chose the wrong man.
I agree with that.
But again, in the same breath, if my woman is financially struggling, I'm financially struggling. If I take on either one of you as my wife and you got student loan debt, we have student loan debt. When did it change where it's like, that's your problem? That means you're not a good partner. It's that simple. If you take on a car loan, the reason why I want to know, because if God forbid something happened to you, I got to keep your credit up. So therefore, I got to make sure that I'm in a position where I can keep that car note being paid. So therefore, we should discuss what you're going to spend your money on and what you're going to buy. Because we're supposed to be a team. That's what black culture has lost. Everyone is against each other. What can I get out of the deal? Come on, it's crazy.
A lot of men are setting that standard too.
I think men are looked at as paychecks. Men are looked at as paychecks. I'm just being fair. Most cases, most men are looked at as paychecks. Most women, like when you start dating a woman, it's an investment, right? Right? First off, a man should be, the most y'all should be going into a coffee date or something. I don't even know if I like you. Why are we at Philippe Chow? Why are we at the most expensive restaurants? That means you're selling your cat. Because, no, seriously, you're selling your cat. And the reason why is because the higher the meal, the more likely you'll give me sex. That y'all learning from hoes how to move as women and think that that's normal. A hoe is teaching y'all how to be a hoe. She's telling you, take him to the most expensive restaurant, make him spend his resources, and then you'll determine if you're gonna sleep with him or not. That's a hoe. That is a hoe.
Agreed.
Come on.
That is very true.
And the people that ain't agreeing is because they the hoes.
I agree with that. I do think first date should be over coffee.
Yes.
Or sushi or something.
We getting to know each other.
Right.
I don't even know if I like you.
I do agree with that.
But rocking a man's pockets don't do nothing. Just because you shake a tree, not all the time something gonna fall. So reality is you shaking his pockets thinking that, and again, you talking about you like this man, but you want to measure him based on his economics, which shows that women are clearly about a paycheck and money. And I will never raise my daughter to see that. I want the man that's gonna I don't care if my daughter dates a garbage man. I don't care if she dates a utility worker. I don't care. Do he respect her? Is he all in with her? That's what that matters. How do you make her feel? And on top of it, do you see me as a father? Do you see her mother as a mother? And if you see me as her parents and you see me as your parents, then I know you're gonna love me and not put me in no old folks home. That's what I'm looking at. When did that change? Social media has crushed dating. People are looking at the wrong things. I promise you. Everyone is in line for the same 10% of men. All the higher earning men have a laundry list of women we can go through. And the men that are good, decent men do not get it.
But Q, I think that you do have a lot of men out here that lead with their money, so women take advantage of that. I think you do have a lot of men out here that present themselves as a paycheck.
You know what?
And some women are taking them for that.
You know
I
what?
don't think it's just the women that are out here looking at men as paycheck. I think when you're out here flashing money, flashing this, doing that, and you telling her, I'll take you here, I'll fly you out, because a lot of men say that. A lot of men do lead with that. And women, okay, if you say you're going to fly me out or you this or you that, I'm not talking about me, but in general, men lead like that too. It's not just women.
You know why? And watch this. Would you agree that a lot of people, like black people, we pretend to be more successful than we actually are?
Yes.
Why do we do that?
Why do black women?
No,
black
I didn't say
people, I'm sorry,
black people.
I didn't mean
Black people
pretend to be more
Yes.
successful than
I
they
think
are.
they're just trying to keep up.
I think it's keeping up with the Joneses. Yeah.
Now, the men that do that, they do it in regards of seeing that society only see them if they look successful. Society do not respect the average Joe to the point where the average Joe try to act like they're above average because society don't even see that as a human, as a person. They look way past them. And that could be your super husband. And the sad part is, this man who is loyal, who's respectful, who got a good heart, he's a good person, he will never get a look at a day in his life. And it's sad. And that's a good man. That's the problem. And I'm raising my daughter to see him. You're gonna see him. Because you know what? When y'all got my healthy grandkids walking around the house, I'm gonna look at it like they built their life together. And they see each other as partners. And no one is bigger than each other because of money. Whether my daughter's a doctor and her husband's a garbage man, y'all are an equal unit. The money's supposed to come in for the family. In most cases, I hate to say this again, most women see their money as theirs and they see their man's as theirs also. But most men cannot think like that about their woman's money. But we're supposed to be a team. How do you want equal respect when you don't realize that your money is not fully coming into the household? Everything is supposed to be equal.
No,
Our
but I
grandparents had one account.
You see a lot of these men on social media. Her money is her money. My money is. So I feel like
That's
men
disgusting.
lead like that too, though. It's not just the women. When you say it, it's like we're taking advantage of men. But a lot of men come in like that.
Because they know you're not gonna respect them.
I don't want my.
You're not
going to
respect
I don't
them.
want.
You're not gonna respect
on,
them. Not saying
guys.
you think most women respect a broke man? Or a man that's considerably look broke? If I put on dusty clothes right now and went outside right now, I'm considerably a bum. Yes. You're gonna look at him as a bum.
I don't
I'm
think
just
if a
being
man is on
honest.
a bus, he's a bum.
No, I'm just saying,
I don't
not
think you're a
you.
bum.
In most cases, how would most women receive him? A grown man on a bus.
As a bum.
As a bum. This is why our young men are literally hurting themselves financially to look like they're more established than they are because society don't respect them.
See, some people say you shouldn't be dating if you're broke. I agree with that. So
I
when you
agree
say
too.
look at
Yeah.
as if broke,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna date somebody if they look dusty. You're gonna look at that person. You would do the same thing for a woman. If you see a woman and she looking dusty and dirty, you're gonna walk up to her and
Some of the
you wanna
wealthiest
take
people
her
I
out?
haven't met, they look dusty. Comparable to how we grew up. No, look, if I see
Talking about
somebody
somebody working at
growing up, I
McDonald's.
see somebody with sketches on growing up, that was automatically a bum to me. But they've been rich. But we were just taught wrong. They got on pro kids or like some cheapy sneakers. We looked at them as broke. But they've been rich.
Y'all
But
be seeing how they be wearing their sneakers. The people that be having the money, they be choked up and everything.
See, someone
They
asked a
have
good
money.
question. So broke men don't deserve love.
Yes, everyone deserves love. No one, just if you don't have the money or the means, does not mean you're not deserving of love. What we're saying is, if you don't have the means, you shouldn't be dating. You shouldn't be dating.
But I think women should be dating men with ambition too. It's not when you say broke. What is broke? Are we just in a situation right now and we're getting better, or are you satisfied? Are you making $10 a month and your bills are $9.99 and every month we just struggling and struggling? What are we doing to better our situation? Because you have a lot of men that are comfortable, very complacent, very non-ambitious, and then get upset when a woman says, "You know what? I don't want to do this anymore." And it's okay for a woman to say, "You know what? The person that you fell in love with 5 years ago, 5 years later, you're seeing no change." And essentially a relationship is built upon what? Growth. You should want to grow.
Can I
So
be
if
honest?
someone is saying stagnated and complacent, why should you stay in that relationship
Can I
where
be
there's no
honest?
growth?
I'm going to be honest. If I meet a man or a woman that's in a relationship and the person do not want to move a mountain for them, either one or two things happen. You dated someone that was extremely lazy from the jump, or B, you could have broken that person where that person don't feel like they should even do anything anymore. And I'm being honest. Life could have beat that person up. That person could have issues, all type of things that we don't look at. The other day, one of my good friends, his birthday came up. You know what I got him?
What?
I got him 10 sessions of therapy.
That's a good gift.
10 sessions of therapy.
Some
And the
people
reason
need it.
being is because, again, we only look at surface level when we're dealing with people. A person who doesn't choose to be ambitious, it could be deeper than what you're seeing. Most men don't want to be looked at as bums. Most men don't want to be broke. Most men don't want to not be able to take care of their families. If a man is choosing to do that, that could be something wrong with that man. It doesn't necessarily mean he's a bad person. But life could have beat this person up so bad to the point where no one has poured into this person, ever. A lot of times when a man falls, he has to figure out how to get back up. But when a woman falls, she's looking for somebody that has their hand and pulling her back up.
That's not true.
I'm gonna tell you why it's true. When a woman falls today, she could automatically go to social service right now and get DSS. Is it true or not?
yeah, but so can a
No,
man.
most cases men can't.
They can. They go by income.
How many men you know right now that's sitting on welfare?
I mean, not many, but you can.
But if it's not many, that
if I
means it's
fall on
harder
my
to do
face,
it.
Or for example, if you fall, we still get the same public assistance that
Agreed, but what if I'm saying if there's not a lot, that means it's not normality. I know a lot of women on social services. I know women that talk independent because they got social services. And they talk about how I don't need a man. Because you have DSS, which is your baby daddy. That is diabolical. Social services is your whole baby daddy. That's why you talk like that.
See,
and we
a lot
all
of
know people like
saying
that.
Plenty of men on social services.
I don't
so
know a
it's
lot.
not just
I'm not sitting there saying there's not none. That's not what I'm saying. I don't know a lot.
Because you don't know, that's not the statistic. Doesn't mean it's not there.
Can you look that statistic up?
I don't know a lot.
How many men as compared
Yeah,
to
look that
women
up.
are on?
I'm
public
curious. I don't know a lot.
assistance? And I'm
saying?
sure that
Listen,
the
that-
demographic will affect that also. But
See,
let's
veterans,
see.
I'm not judging veterans, so let's keep veterans out of this
Yeah,
conversation.
that's
That's not
a
fair.
difference.
And it's nobody's job to fix you, Q. It's not a woman's job to fix a broken man. It's not your job. People who are broken, it's your responsibility to fix yourself.
But what if you broke the person?
What's the stats?
Hold on, let me ask that question. I want her to answer that. What if you broke the person?
In terms of what?
A lot
You
of times
say-
women don't take account that you could have broke the person.
And a lot of times men don't take account that they can break their women, vice versa. It goes
I
both
agree.
ways.
And so I just
Goes
ask you a
both
question.
ways.
If you said this man lacks ambition, right? I think most people want to make their mates happier. But then when a person stops trying to make a person happy, it's because that person has either stopped making them happy.
Then I think they need to move on. If you're
100%.
not- You just need to move on.
100%.
Sometimes two people that are together aren't meant to be together. It just
I
feels
think
okay.
they're not meant to be together because a
okay.
lot of times there are people out here that believe that there's something out there waiting for them that don't exist. And what they had at home, they could have worked on.
All right,
Yes,
so speaking
nobody's
on that,
healing is
do
your
you
job.
believe that sometimes love is walking away though? Like you could say you love
Yes.
somebody and like okay, but y'all going back and forth, y'all
Yes.
arguing. Maybe I don't have kids or nothing.
Walking
but
away is normal for
sometimes
people that's broken.
Isn't love walking away?
Sometimes
Love-
you can
breaking
love
away
enough
looks
to
normal for
leave,
people that's
yes.
broken.
That's not true.
You hear
Pio.
me? Walking
That's not
away,
true.
because I'm gonna be honest with you, all them long-term relationships that you see while grandparents been in the issue, we've been told the Cinderella stories. A lot of them have major, major trauma and issues that they've been through together and they thugged it and worked it out. Every situation that you see that's long-term, go ask them, tell you the truth. They're gonna be like, it's been a war. A war. But again, we want butterflies in the sky.
But he's not saying
Every day.
everything, Q.
You know
He's
so.
saying not for every relationship, but he's
Love
saying
goes
sometimes
and comes
can
in
you love
relationships.
Enough. Sometimes
Love
people just ain't meant
goes.
to be
I did
together.
18 years with a woman. 18 years. You fall in and out of love every day.
Yes.
In and out of love every day.
I agree with that.
Yes.
Yes.
They're not meant to be together because they're not working on themselves.
Yes.
They're only seeing the problem with the other person. I bet you if you sit with that person that want to leave, they're usually blaming the other person. And then you sit with both of them, you realize it's both of them. Or it's that person. Most toxic people can't see they toxic. Most toxic people can't see they toxic. They have issues. There are people that's talking about going into the dating pool when you the one that always pee in the goddamn pool. You don't want to pee in the pool. Every day you pee in the pool. You the reason why the pool's so dirty. And you want to jump back in the pool.
I think sometimes you can love
yeah,
enough
yeah.
to walk away, though. Sometimes you got to do that.
But then
For your
I
sanity.
agree with that, walking away. And then I do agree also what Q said
Yeah.
with falling in and out of
Yeah.
love.
Yes.
Because I've experienced that
Yes.
personally. Like you have seasons. You have a season
Yes.
where you feel like, you know what, I just don't think I can do it with this person
100%.
anymore. And then something creeps back up in you
Yep.
to where you be like, I think I'm falling back in love.
Yep.
It comes in waves, and I think that just comes from trials and tribulations, going through things,
Yep.
people showing you their ugliest side, their worst side, and then y'all are able to move past it and find some type of a median again and some type of balance. So then the love starts to return.
100%.
Yeah.
So
100%.
it is really a thin line.
So you guys don't think you could go out there and find something better? Like,
When you say go out there and find
so
something
say you move
better,
on, like you move on, you both move on, the relationship doesn't work.
If
there,
I move
there could
on-
potentially be better out there for you.
But sometimes moving on isn't for better. Sometimes
Right,
moving on is for your peace.
This is
and
why
just,
me and her, because sometimes
Yeah.
if I'm moving on, my intentions of moving on is not to find something better.
Yeah.
I'm moving on for myself. No matter what is out there for me, I'm moving on because this space and this place that I'm in right now, I can't be here. Regardless of,
It's not always about to the
It's not
next.
always about jumping
Not
into
to the
another
next.
man's bed or another man's arm or another
Yeah.
man's space or letting him into my mental space. It's not about that. If I'm moving on for me. I'm moving on to make myself a better person
Yes.
because this person is holding me back, holding me down.
I agree.
It's not feeding
I
me
agree.
emotionally. It's not feeding me spiritually. So I'm better off being alone.
I'm going to be honest with you, and this is some people on live right now, and everybody understand this. When you're dealing with a person and you forcing somebody to be what you want because it benefits you, you're a narcissist. 100%. I'm just telling y'all that right now. Narcissists are very entitled people. If a person has helped you and sustained you and you want to go to the moon with your life, sometimes you got to go to the moon by yourself. And a lot of times when people force people to be who they want, it's because it benefits them, which shows you that you're married or dating a narcissist. When a person is not holding you back from where you're trying to go with your life, that person is not a bad person. The person that's holding you back from where you're trying to go, meaning you want this big old mansion and they in your way, that's a bad person. But when a person is not in your way, listen, your ambition can outgrow your relationship. Yes, it can.
How did she?
But one thing you shouldn't, loyalty, respect, and the oath that you've made before our Creator should not outweigh finances. It should always outweigh finances. Finances shouldn't be the number one reason into why, I outgrew him ambitiously. That sounds crazy as hell. Because again, if he ain't beating you, he ain't doing nothing verbally abusing you, and like, come on.
Yeah,
but a lot
those
of times,
aren't only the reasons to stay in a relationship, Q, just because you're not getting beat or abused. That shouldn't even be a standard. It shouldn't even be a thing.
Wait till you get in the dating world. Wait till you get in the dating world.
If you can.
You gonna see. Believe you me, I do a lot of one-on-ones, and you gonna see some heat. Some heat in that dating world. And the crazy part is, with time, and I'm gonna be honest, these men have evolved. They're better liars than they've ever been. These men are godly men when you need them to be godly, and devils behind the closed doors. And these women are godly women when you need them to be godly, and devils behind closed doors. We in the nastiest dating world you've ever seen in your life, and you're about to see. You're gonna see. It is not what you think. It is a cold,
I'm not thinking about it.
cold world.
I'm not thinking
But then
about
when
it,
you wake
guys.
up one day and you're 60 years old and you realize that, men ain't nothing. That's why you have these older people miserable, and they creating this movement because of the fact they're not going to acknowledge that you just made a poor decision. You made a poor decision. How many women, let's be fair, that you see that honestly say, you know what, I had a decent, every man is bad? Every man? Every breakup is because of the man? Every single one? But if you watch these things, all you're going to see is demand. You don't think some of them are crazy as hell? You don't think she stole, she lied, she did things wrong? She was she was looking for too much attention from the village? You don't think that transpired in a relationship?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like, come on.
I think it's 50-50
Come
in a
on.
relationship.
It's not a one-way street.
It's not a one-way.
It's both, on both ends. But
It's women.
Again,
too.
you can see like that person is hurt. The majority of men are. That's how you know. She's hurt.
But like Tyler said,
Go ahead.
you love enough to walk away. And sometimes that is true. Some people need to love
think that's
enough
what
to
we
walk
teach.
away.
I said if the person is not beating you, the person is not putting their hands on you, if you're leaving the person because of love, that means you're going to keep falling out of love. You will never stay in love. It is not a movie. All we see is the end of the movie. We do not see the total life story. When we go down the aisle, that is usually the closing credits. No one sees that when they start fighting and having problems and they have money issues. No one shows these things. Movies are created to give you a hypothetical scenario. It's not a logical or a factual scenario. So therefore, people, their perception of marriages and relationships is based on emotions and lies that's been sold to us. We watch Ninja Turtles, they watch Cinderella. We watch fighting movies, they watch Snow White. So a lot of women in their mind, they believe that these are the realities of the world. It's not real. It's delusional. I got a divorce because I thought it was real. I thought it was real. When you're supposed to come in the house every day happy with a person. I might not want to see your face. But guess what? You in this with me and we gonna thug it out together. That's what it's supposed to be. I know this person is with me for me. When you put your Green Hulk mask on and come to bed with your bonnet on, he loves you for that and still respects you. When you on your monthly, listen, there are men right now, you and me right now, don't even want nothing to do with you when they find out you're on your monthly. He don't even want you to come around him. And there are men that'll cuddle with you while you're on your monthly. There's two different men. Two different men. The men that will cuddle with you with your Green Goblin mask on, with your bonnet on, and hold you. And there are women that will never let these other guys that they run to and show off to see them with their bald head. They can't even see them without their wigs. They will not show these men without their wigs.
Oh, Joey's sweet. He said I buy her snacks.
Right? And this is what we
Nice,
talk.
Joey.
And this is, but again, the attention that you're getting from these guys is because they see you dolled up. And that man that loved you all these years when you were not dolled up, that's the real man that loves you.
So do you think the access plays a part? Because you know what we talk about, Q, like in terms of family, like when certain people that's so close to you, they don't see you for who you are, is what I'm saying. So in a relationship, since you're always next to your partner all the time, the access thing could make perception like you get tired of the person, if you get what I'm saying.
I don't. Repeat that.
So there's a thing of access. So so you can have, for example, Q. He has family members who may not listen to him because they're so close to him because of the access. But if they go far away, they love Q for Q. Oh, he's this big motivational speaker. So in a relationship, since you're with your partner all the time, can the access deter like the love and Does that play a big factor into why you can get tired of
So
somebody?
you're saying like you need some space to miss that
yes,
person.
Yes.
But what space do you have when you're in a
not a marriage.
partnership? You don't have any space.
It's not a marriage.
If you're in a marriage or you're in a
Right.
relationship and you live together, there is no space.
There's no space.
You're gonna get mad, but we're gonna have to talk this
So
out.
you're
We're
gonna
gonna
have
have
to
to
deal
figure
with
this
it.
out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And yes, but you do use some. When you say get tired of the person, I don't really know if it's getting tired of them. I would say for me personally, I always like to speak from my own opinion. I'm used to the person now. If that I'm used to this, you compromise. This person is always going to be in my space, in my face, in my hair, getting on my nerves. Like this is just what it is because we have made a commitment. I'm married, so we've made a commitment and we've made that sacrifice to be one with each other. Does it get tiring? Yes. Do sometimes you just want your own space? But yeah, we found a balance that we take our own space when needed. So access, but like Shay said, if you're in a relationship with someone, then you should always have access to your partner, and that your partner should always have access to you.
I agree. There's no such thing as unconditional love. I don't think so.
I will say this though. When you're in a relationship, right? And the only way I would say leave somebody if there's abuse involved, right? Whether emotional, physical. And when people say emotional, it's like because he ain't buy you a Louis Vuitton bag? Because he didn't give you the mansion?
That's not it. It's like,
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, Q.
No,
You
but
know,
there are
we know
people
what
that think that foolish.
You walking away from relationships because your man didn't buy you a bag? Come on.
But there are people that think like that.
Come on.
What I'm trying to say is, if the average man and woman have bought a house, right, and neither one of them have crazy careers, they've done better than the average couple. Just so y'all know that. If an average couple has bought a house, right, that means they've done better than the average couple. But watch the narrative. The only way I would automatically outside of those things, tell you to leave somebody if they're in the way of your dreams. If my woman say, yo, I want to go back to school, I'm going to be supportive, right? Because again, your ambition, your dreams, your goals change.
Right.
But your love for me shouldn't change because I'm going to just be there supporting you and reinforcing that I got your back through whatever decision you make through life, as long as it's not going to put us at a deficit. Then that means you have a healthy person. When a person is in the way of where you're going, then that means you have a non-healthy person. But when a person is not in the way of your dreams, your aspirations, and your goals, that means you might just be thinking that you're warranted something that don't exist. Right. So in your mind, this girl is waiting for you. In reality, you're going to end up being by yourself. Because when you leave a good person, looking for a better person, you always get a worse person. I'm going to say that one more time. When you leave a good person, looking for a better person, you always get a worse person. Because a lot of people can't see it's them. It's them. I'm being honest with you.
I don't think emotional and physical abuse are the only reasons to leave relationships. So I think a lot of people just end up they grow apart. They grow out of love. I think stagnancy and complacency in relationships are real. And I think sometimes you meet someone at this point and you get to this point and there's no growth. And the person...
What is the growth? Elaborate on what's growth. What's growth?
Growth is just you guys building together.
Elaborate on that. Finances, we talking?
Well, not just finances.
So what are we
maybe
talking?
Just
maturity
beliefs
level
and just maturity level. Just everything is building
emotional
together
availability.
as one.
Doesn't matter.
If you feel like you're not, what do you mean? If you feel like someone has no emotional growth from the time you met them 10 years in, you want to stay with that person? You want to still be with somebody that's just there's no growth?
Yes.
But they haven't matured.
I decided that when I laid with this person and started putting seeds in them. The moment we start talking like that, the moment black culture will get better. Once you start having sex and making babies, like unless that person is physically beating you, doing diabolical things to you, that is crazy, then I get it. But other than that, yes. Yes.
So you should stay with the man.
You took vows.
That, okay, well, let's take our marriage. Let's take our marriage. So if you're in a relationship, excuse me, you should stay with a man. Say you met him at 22. Now you're 30, 39, let's say, right? You've been with him all this time. And there has been no type of maturity level as far as you've seen him grow, as far as the way he thinks, processes information, solves problems, handles himself, carries himself, financial responsibility, the way he manages his money, time, effort. There's no growth there. I'm supposed to stay with that man.
If
How much more time does he need?
Joey made a good point. He said growth is in the eye of the woman. A man could feel like he reached his potential and it's not enough for her. You think that's true?
I think
That was a good point, Joey.
I'm 50-50 on that.
I don't think that's
It's not a bad perspective, But what I do believe is a lot of times when we talk about men and women, I'm a very, very, very ambitious person. Very ambitious. Would you guys agree?
Agreed.
And I usually pursue anything I believe I want, I go after it. So if I start measuring my maturity, and my ambition to everybody, I think most people are lazy as hell.
Okay.
Because my ambition tends to be more potent than the average person's. And I don't make excuses. I go after it. So what I'm trying to say is, now the next chapter of my life that I want, it's on me to go get it. As long as God is in my corner and I have a supportive mate, I'm doing good. My person ain't in my way. They not talking down upon my dreams. They not, you just want more. They not doing none of that. Oh, you wasting your time. They not doing none of that. They not the Debbie Downer. I got a great partner. But again, when you say that you outgrowing a person, that means you're not challenging that person to grow. Because again, now I start bringing things like, look, I'm not sleeping with you unless you read this book. I'm saying, and let's read it together. Let's pray together. There are things you definitely haven't pursued that we walk away too soon without doing the different things that we can change. Because a lot of times, I bet you ask that person, they say they grew maturity. I mean, actually, when that person get mad, they still curse you out. They're gonna be like, yeah, so where the hell they grew maturity? Because they make more money? But when they emotionally get mad, they act the same goddamn way. So a lot of times we think that we've grown, but in reality, we did not grow. You think you grown because you make more money, because your dreams of, so I want this more. That don't mean anything. As soon as I get you mad, you still show who you truly are. Your colors show the most when you're upset. It shows the most. So if the person tells me that they've grown, get that person mad and see how fast they act. And then you'll see if they really grown.
I agree with that.
So that's what I'm just saying. In that person's mind, you might not grown either.
Right.
So you telling me to be something greater, but you have the same way. You still talk to me the same way you used to. You do the same things you did when you get upset. You still misbehave and act like a child when you want your way. But then you talking about this person because we didn't get a Bentley in the driveway this year? Like, come on. I'm just saying, I'm being fair to both sides. I do believe that when you ask the other person, you'll get the other side like, whoa, you ain't who you think you are. You know what I'm saying?
I just think sometimes too, women can be very materialistic when it comes to certain things. So, because you keep saying,
100%.
Bentley can't get you the Louis Vuitton bag. So, we do put a lot of stipulations on materialistic things. But then it's also like what Shay said, these guys, sometimes they offer it up to us. That'll be their starting point, their talking point. Is I'll have money, and money is no object and things. So then when we as women go into something, taking full advantage of it, we're now looked at as gold diggers. But this man, this is how he presented himself to me.
Agreed.
He presented himself saying, listen, take advantage of me. I'll take you wherever you want to go. I'll buy you whatever you want. So it is a double-edged sword when it comes to that.
I agree. But again, like I said, a lot of the people that lead with that is either insecure or the fact that they don't believe that they can get somebody without showing that they have it together.
Right.
Because most women do look at men that have it together. Barack Obama became one of the sexiest men in the world when he became president. But before Barack Obama was president, I wasn't looking at him. If I take a guy, an average Joe right now, and give him a status, y'all gonna look at him. But if he has no status, y'all gonna walk right past him. In most cases.
Not every, come
in
on.
Most cases. In most cases. I'm just being
You have
honest.
some women out there that do not care what men look like. They
I'm not saying
want
that.
a good
Listen, when you
man,
say
an
most, that
honest
means there are
man.
some that don't.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't mean all.
Not every woman is
I said
looking at
most
a man
cases.
for how he looks, what he got.
It's
whatever.
very
You got
few that are
some-
like that. Yeah.
Do you think most women they fall under the hypergamy?
100%. 100%. 100%.
It's the practice of marrying or partnering with someone of higher social or economic or educational status.
Yes, because
Yes.
I do believe in listening to most
We
women,
do.
the way they talk today, most women believe that the man is the problem for the lifestyle that they want. I think we're in a very equal society where both of us can get what we want these days. And when a woman don't have nothing, it's because she's a bum. It's not the man.
Him and his bum.
But if a man don't have nothing, it's because he's a bum.
So I have a
It's not
friend,
the
right?
woman.
I know somebody that I know. She met this guy. She had met the guy. Then they lost touch. They met at a club or whatever. He reconnected with her. He's a businessman, very, very wealthy guy. Reconnected with her, hit her up and was like, hey, can we go to dinner? He told her to pick the place or something like she picked one of the most expensive places, like a $1,200 dinner, right? First date. Then he texted her 2 days later, hey, I'm in town. You want to go shopping? Took her shopping, bought her a $10,000 bag, $5,000 Christian Dior bag. Ever since then, she believes that that's the standard. So she wants to date from there up. I told her,
Good luck.
that's not a thing. You know what I'm saying? But this is how this man presented himself to her. I want you to pick a nice restaurant. I want to take you to the nicest store. So now here she is thinking, if I could get this from this man, I'm not going to accept anything less from anybody else. You get what I'm saying? So I think a lot of men, just the way you say some women have this expectation,
Those are simps.
where are they all getting it
That's
from?
a
You got to
simp.
be coming from somewhere.
That's a simp, though. He's a sucker. But you want to hear something funny? And I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm going to show you how men are. Real men are logical, especially men that have their life together. They're very logical. I'm going to show you something. I go on a date with a woman, right? And I ask her, why you and your man broke up? Or your husband, why did y'all get a divorce? You start saying stuff like, we just grew apart. We just didn't, go in line. And I'm asking like, he used to hit you? No. He used to verbally, nah. He didn't do it? No. I'm like, so if something go rocky for me, she gonna run. She gonna run. So that means you got bored with him, which states that the same thing could happen to me. I wouldn't even entertain that person. And if I do, it's gonna be just a lay. Nothing more, nothing less. Because in my mind, I'm like, she don't know what loyalty is because of the fact that loyalty is measured on when things aren't good. Loyalty is not measured on when things are good. Anyone could be loyal to a winning team, but everyone cannot be loyal to a losing team until the team starts winning. And when I see a woman is like that, I am every bit of not willing to make that investment because I know there will be a poor ROI, which is the return on investment is not going to be good. And in most cases, situation happened to me where they say what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If it could happen to him, it could happen to me. Only little boys be like, if she cheating with you on her man, she can cheat on you with another man. Only a foolish man thinks otherwise, and he's immature. Little boys think like that. You know what I'm saying? So
You could be in love with two people at the same time.
like elaborate on love. You can have love for in love.
In love.
Yeah, you think you can be in love with two men or women? You think a man could be or guys, or you think you can be in love with two people at once?
I think the person that's in love with two people at the same time is toxic because they should never put themselves in a position to fall in love with two people.
Okay.
Because you can fall in love with the idea of someone, but you don't know what you have until the other person is removed. Every relationship look healthy. Like if you meet a guy right now and you got a man in your house and you're talking to another guy, reality is that man is going to be 8 times on his best behavior because it's easy to be with you. And the reason why it's easy to be with you is because you're going to go home and give that man a headache. But every time you see me, it's all fun and happiness. But in reality, you don't know what you really have until me and you are single and together. You ever see somebody, as soon as they break up with their man, men don't want you? He wanted you because you had a man.
Right.
Because he wanted you because you have a man.
Somebody said two people, man, listen, it's hard loving one woman.
100%.
Yeah.
When you love
it
two
in
people,
terms of a cheating thing, I mean in general, like you think it's possible where somebody's like, you love two people at the same time.
I think if you had something in the past with somebody and there's someone currently, yeah.
Right.
Meaning you was married to somebody and y'all just wasn't on, but y'all decided to walk away, I could see that happening.
Yeah.
But if you've been with somebody and then find somebody you fell in love with, you put a lot of energy in that new person you're in love with.
Right. Right.
You didn't fall in love with him because he said hi.
Right.
He had me at hello. This ain't no movie. This ain't no Adele song. You know what I'm saying? You had me at hello. Hello. I fell in love. Like, come on, this ain't no movie.
You
It's
know
mixed.
what?
Some people are saying yes or no.
Where we at? Go ahead.
Everybody ask a question. Say where you from and ask a question. We're gonna be
Yeah, I can ask
answering
a question.
questions.
You know what I'm saying, but I do believe like a lot of people right now, we don't see that we are the problems. This is dating people that don't believe in loyalty no matter what. They shouldn't be in relationships. Yo, would you hire an employee right now that you know right now that's gonna leave you high and dry? So why would you want to hire this person to your company? Every person's a company, right? We all our own companies.
Right.
And once you hire somebody or marry somebody, they're an extension of the company.
Right.
And now they become 2 co-CEOs. So if this person is not loyal as a CEO to the company that we supposed to be building, that person is diabolical.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to be with a person like that.
That's a good question. What's your
Yeah.
point of view on women taking men on a date? I would take a man on a date.
Nothing wrong with that. I don't. If you are interested in a man, ladies, shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot.
Hey, how are you? My name is Myra, whatever your name is, would you
That's
like
how I
to
got
go
my
out on
son's
a date?
father. I walked up to him at the bar, was like, "Are you here with someone? Can I buy you a drink?" Yeah, sure did.
Yeah. Someone
Wish
said,
I
hell
did
no.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn. Damn. But you said y'all said yes, so you could take a man on a date?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would take a man on a date, of
Absolutely
course.
take a man on a
See,
date.
I am a hopeless romantic. I love to do romantic things for my man. I love to
Except your husband.
cook for him. You say a mix up? You want to cook for him, do all these, but it has to be reciprocated, though. You're not just going to do and not get. But I love to do all that romantic stuff for my man. Hell yeah.
You know, the one thing I want to acknowledge, and I want to raise the awareness of our culture right now, mental health is a major issue, whether black male, black woman, male, female. The issue that we don't have is the offering yourself rate is high in men because a lot of men, they do hide their issues behind closed doors. And they're so ashamed of the things that they go through, they act like they have it together more than they do.
Right.
When you talk to a lot of men, you realize that a lot of men do have a lot of hoarded and stored trauma, but a lot of y'all find outlets. A lot of men aren't looked at as strong if they find outlets. And that's a major issue why I'm seeing why a lot of men have major issues. Like, for instance, I grew up in a generation where men, we don't say nothing about you unless we say it to your face. This nuance of men, they talk crazy about each other behind their back. I can't get jiggy with that. You know, sometimes I read the comments and I see as a man, I get nervous. Like, yo, you could tell he grew up with a bunch of shorties. Because I'm like, men, we don't do that.
Right.
We don't do that. But again, that's how they raised.
Right.
And I'm like, again, the way I am is keep that same energy when we see each other. I'm not going to say nothing about you unless I can say it to your face. And that's how I was raised. And I wouldn't definitely jump at somebody I don't even know. But I do believe that we need more therapy. I think we need more therapy. I think our culture is really bleeding on each other because of wounds that the person that you with did not cause. You ever met somebody in the first argument, they go crazy. That means you've already had underlying misdiagnosed issues that were but way beyond me, and now you're taking it out on me.
Someone said, if you just admitted men need therapy, why are you continuously blaming a woman?
No, I didn't blame a woman. I said we both do. You don't even worry about that. You know what I'm saying? But again, I think it's both of us. I do believe that men do need therapy, and I think we need to make it safer where men can acknowledge that they do have trauma and could be vulnerable. I do believe that a lot of people do not allow men to be in a vulnerable space where they can say things like, hey, I'm going through this. Hey, Tashay, I need a moment. I need a moment.
Yeah.
Like, can you please give me this moment? I think we looked at it as, you ever see somebody, they just sigh like, okay, no problem. Because they're not comfortable enough. Anytime a man feels like, today's world, everything is sassy in a man. Anytime a man has any level of emotion, a man defends himself when a woman talks crazy to him, he's sassy. Everything is sassy, sassy, sassy. I'm like, what is a man then? A man is not a machine. I don't know. And a lot of the times, the people that are calling y'all sassy, they've never had men in their lives. They single as hell, and they never had dads. Because the reality is, I know you've seen your dad at times vulnerable.
Right.
Come on, we talking about humans.
Someone just said that. I missed the name in front. Who just said that? Someone just said most men are scared to be vulnerable.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that as women, especially black women, we need to
use it again too.
our men more comfortable
They use
with
it again
coming to us
too.
and crying to us. It's okay to hold your man and let him cry on your shoulder and let it out. Because like you said, they don't have an outlet to let things out. And
Agreed.
if they can't be vulnerable with us in their own home, they're damn sure not going to go out in the world and be vulnerable. So I think as women, we should make our men more comfortable in our house to come and talk to us and to let it all out without us looking at them like they're soft or sassy or a punk. If they just got to bleed out real quick and get something off of their chest.
I'm gonna be vulnerable for y'all right now. And like I said, I'm a confident man where I don't fear being judged. And I do it to help men get more like that. I remember one day, my girl, she got out the bed and she was like, she going to work. And I was like, I'm gonna see you later. So I'm laying in the bed and I was having a day. I suffer from something called survivor's remorse, where I feel like I made it out of a certain situation. And sometimes I feel guilty. And secondly, I also suffer from something called imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome where you feel like you're not deserving and worthy of what you've done for yourself, to the point where you start questioning yourself a lot, right? Long story short, I'm laying in the bed one day. She says she's going to work. She leaves. I'm laying in the bed. I just catch myself crying. And I'm like crying, joyous cry, but I'm crying because of all the things I've survived and I lost my best friend. I lost a lot of friends on becoming a better person. At one point I had no childhood friends because we just didn't in line psychologically. And again, when I say I'm from the trenches, I caught my first charge at 16. People tell their stories, they got charged at 35 years old, which I find that to be crazy. But I did this as a child. I was wilding as an adolescent. So what I'm saying is, waking up sometimes, I cry and I feel things. So all of a sudden, I hear the door bust open, boom. She forgot something. I'm like, oh. She was like, what's the matter? I said, nah, I hit my foot on the bed. I hit my foot on the bed, it joint hurt. Joint hurt. She looked at me, she said, you okay? I said, yeah, it hurt crazy. I feel like it broke a bone. She's like, yo, it got you. I said, yes, it hurt that bad. And then she looked at me and she was like, you sure? And a part of me just wanted to say, I'm having a moment. I'm having a moment and it is hurting. I'm hurting right now. And again, I'm doing well, but I still feel. Trauma is a photographic memory of something we experienced that can be triggered by something that happens to you like this. It can make you go from happy to extreme depression in seconds. And I'm sitting there like, damn, I'm just depressed. So finally I said, yo, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm having a moment. Yeah. I said, sometimes I realize me going to this therapy now, I'm coming home from prison. I think every prison person should go seek therapy because you're taught how to be conditioned to live in that environment. To come into a new environment, you have to adjust. And a lot of them are just thrown back into society and they're not shown how to adjust to this nuance of society, especially if you've done years, right? But just having that moment, I had to realize in myself, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I had to check myself a few times. Even like being on social media, a lot of times people see, oh, this intellectual guy or this guy, whatever you want to judge me as, they don't know I'm a whole stone cold gangster. They don't even have a clue. A whole reformed gangster. You Google my name and you see what it hit for. But I'm like, you don't have a clue who I am. I'm the guy in your bushes ready to hurt you. But I've reformed myself and I have moments where that character still wants to come out. But I have to suppress him. I have to fight with him. I'm not used to cowards calling me a sucker. I'm not used to that.
Thank you guys. Someone said I really like this podcast.
But again, that's what you have to adjust to with transforming and changing. When you're taking these people who have been through so much trauma, they haven't never been, you're talking about 40 years, some of these people with no outlets of being able to release. Yeah. 40 years. 40 years.
Long time.
That's OD.
It's a very long time.
That's like needing surgery for 40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm seeing a lot of these guys. That's why I give them a level of empathy because I do believe y'all will do it to each other. But we need to let these men understand, let it out, man, talk. Yeah. And then women, I got to teach y'all, stop using it against them when you get upset.
Therapy is an amazing thing, guys.
It is PTSD.
Therapy 2 years ago, and I'm telling you, I think it's one of the best
100%.
things I ever did. I didn't realize how much I needed it until I was there. And I remember calling Myra after, and the very first therapy session I had, she introduced herself, told me what her name was, and then she said to me, tell me what's going on with you. And that's all she said. Yes. I just started crying.
See?
Before I even said a word, I just started bawling, and I'm crying. And she just sat there looking at me, and she just let me cry until I apologized. I said, I'm so sorry. She was like, do not apologize. When you're ready, I got myself together, and I do therapy twice a week. It's, online, 45 minutes, but it works for me. I needed it. Some people, don't think that they're ready for it. Some people can't imagine themselves having therapy, but I feel like now that I have it, I can't see myself without it. I need it.
I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to say this on record. All the men that act overconfident, they're usually suckers. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. When I went to prison, the toughest guys are the most humblest guys, the most laid-back guys, and the most vulnerable guys. Yeah. Those are the toughest guys I've ever met in my life. Yep. The suckers are the ones that act over-tough. Yeah. The overconfident men are the weakest men. I'm letting y'all ladies know as a tip, the man that acts super chest poked out, he's a whole sucker because he'll go fight a man, but he won't go fight a goddamn bill. The toughest man is the man that go fight bills. The man that go fight responsibilities. The man that protects his family. The man that makes decisions, right? Decisions that's gonna keep his family in a stable situation. That's the toughest man on earth. Yeah. Not the cowards that can just go crash out. That's a sucker. That's a fool.
So do you think as you became more successful, like you feel your emotions even more in a sense because people come to you for advice, but who do you go to when you're going through your moments? Like, do you ever feel like that? Like everybody comes to you for like the advice and the mentorship, but
Yeah.
who can
What's
you
your
go to?
outlet?
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What's your outlet?
I've learned that the relationship with God has become stronger.
Someone said, "Go to God."
Yeah, I've gotten
Nay,
stronger
Elise.
with God because I realized that even with the social media platform that we do, a lot of times you get misrepresented as a character, as a person. I got two good women on my left and my right, and sometimes they say comments that are so disrespectful. And I'm like, y'all have no idea what y'all talking about. We come on here to help others. We don't come on here to fight and to diss y'all or disrespect y'all. Some things we might say might be offensive, but in reality, hit dogs holler. That means you need to do some self-work. You need to look in the mirror and do some work on yourself.
Yeah.
Because we're not trying to hurt anybody,
Yeah.
but we are trying to help the culture move forward. And how do you do that? Is by having these conscious conversations. But I do believe that going to God has become my refuge. I realize that I have to do it more than ever because he keeps me sane. And I'm gonna be honest with you, my cousin said to me the other day, he said, Q, I noticed something about you. I said, what? Because he knows me my whole life. He said, you joke a lot. And he said, I know why you do that now. And I said, why? He said, it's become your medicine. He said, it keeps you. And I said, yeah. Because if you know anybody that know me, they know I'm a very aggressive person. I'm very aggressive. I'm very aggressive. I get active. You know what I'm saying? You know me, Tyler. I get active. And I ain't never met a man that I'm scared of. But again, I had to learn that that man is the weakest version of me. That man is the weakest version of me. That get active man is the weakest version of me. The thinking man is the strongest version of me. And I had to learn that. And it took me years to learn that because again, society gives you, this is what a man looks like. And usually that plate of food that we looking at, that's the sucker. Because everything that glitters ain't gold. And a lot of times I had to learn that as a man. You know? Especially when I see men call names, I'm like, yo, these are very feminine men. He's a sucker. He's a punk.
Where are your questions, guys? Ask some
You know what I'm saying?
questions.
You gotta go. What you got? You gotta get us one. How much more time you got?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. All right, 10 minutes, we're gonna get out of here. But anybody want to say anything about this feminist thing?
But before I see everyone's talking about God, but
I love it.
When
All the glory to God.
I always say that everyone should have a relationship with God, no matter what.
Yeah.
That it's a peace that you will find with that. What are we looking
The
at?
podcast is called Don't Let That Go Over Your Head.
Just real
We're in
Don't
New
let
York,
that go
guys.
over your head.
Real quick, thank you, Marcus, for the $10. Shout out Marcus from the UK.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to
Marcus.
Marcus.
Wow, that's what's up. I didn't know.
Thank you,
I never seen it
Marcus.
before. Wow, that's what's up, Marcus.
Oh.
Wow.
And that's a lot more than American because that's pounds.
But you know what I want y'all to understand? Like you see Myra, y'all see Tashay. These are legit my sisters, and we do this conversation. Afterwards, we drink and we laugh. We don't despise each other.
Couples therapy. I think every couple should go to therapy before getting married. I think it
100%.
should be mandated.
Yes.
100%.
Before you marry someone, you need to go to
I
therapy,
agree.
whether it's for a month, 2 months, 3 months, however long it takes, you should go to therapy.
You know, one of my mentors said to me one time, he said, you should let your mate choose your therapist, and then you should choose her therapist. And I said, why? He said, because more people, they choose people that accommodate who they are.
Me too,
And
Tiffany.
you need a person that's gonna challenge who you are.
Yeah.
So if you my girl, I gotta choose somebody that's gonna challenge who you are. But then you're gonna choose somebody that gotta challenge who I am. In most cases, we go to people who compliment us. And that's when you really don't grow. You grow when you're being challenged. You know what I'm saying?
So where's your questions, guys? Okay. Oh, okay.
We're
What's
gonna
coming?
read your comment as well, Marcus. He said,
Oh,
unfortunately.
$10 from Jacqueline. Thanks, Jacqueline.
Oh, Jacqueline, appreciate
Oh,
it.
thanks,
Thank you,
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline. Marcus said, unfortunately, black men in the UK have a lot of the same problems that men in the US have with our sisters. So it seems like it's a cultural thing.
It is.
It's because social media has created these mentalities, and we have to get past it. Because again, I don't believe a woman can hold me back. I think the only person that can hold me back is myself. I don't believe a man can hold a woman back. I believe the only person that can hold her back is herself. I think we need to understand our ambition could always outgrow people because some people are just more ambitious than other people. But it don't make them less than.
guys.
If you want $100,000 a year and you want $1 million a year, respectfully, we still respect each other.
Right.
It's just what it is. It's just what you want and what you want. It's two different things. But as long as that person is not making me feel bad about what I want, that's healthy. right?
Okay.
Anybody?
Somebody asked the question 3 times. What is your take on polygamy? Go ahead, Q. That must be for you.
Me personally, I'll be honest with you. The one thing I will say is, first off, a person that is not financially extremely secure should not be polygamous.
Okay.
Extremely secure. For one, I do meet a lot of men that don't have finances talking about polygamy. I find that to be diabolical.
Right.
That means someone in that polygamous relationship will be neglected financially.
Okay.
I do believe that you should be able to fairly, equally give both of them if you're even going to entertain that. And on top of it, you should give a woman a choice if she wants to entertain it or not. So from day one, you should allow her to make a choice. You shouldn't make her fall in love with you and then try to spring it on her. That's crazy.
Yeah, Barbara
That's
Rita
crazy.
Zoe, 1992, said polygamy is a rich man's game.
It is 100%.
It is.
100%. Can't be broke talking about polygamy. I'm just being honest. That's like going in the Gucci store with food stamps.
I'm dead.
You know what I'm saying?
Should women be more this is
Yeah.
Keowen? Should women be more understanding when men go quiet when trying to internalize their problems? Yes, I think sometimes we be talking too much and they're already dealing with something mentally and we're like, what's wrong with you? What you need to do? I think sometimes we just need to kind of back off, give them that little space and then come back and revisit it later and say, hey, babe, are you okay? I noticed that you was kind of whatever. Do you want to talk to me about it?
Yes.
So
Everybody need their space sometimes.
Everybody needs their space.
Everybody needs space.
Men
Yeah.
do. Men think all day and they always got things on their brains. And I think sometimes we add to that stress when we're nagging and picking. I'm learning that myself. I've learned being married to my husband, certain behaviors and qualities that I had to change within myself. So we all a work in progress.
100%. 100%.
That's it. We all got to work on ourselves.
I do believe that we need to look at ourselves in the mirror and start reflecting on ourselves. I told myself, happiness is a choice. We say it all the time, but we still choose to be miserable.
Yeah.
You hear that statement? Happiness is a choice, but we still choose to be miserable. Right? Happiness is where I'm going to do everything that makes myself happy. And when things bother me, I'm going to still choose to be happy. Because if you go through life not expecting nothing to bother you, then you are living in a delusional space. Because there's always going to be something.
Right.
If we can acknowledge that there's a good and there's an evil, we can acknowledge there's a God and there's a devil, then we know that the devil will always attack the most happiest people.
Dr. P said, can women be polygamous as well? Not me. That's too much. I can't handle all of that.
That's on her. If she tells the
No,
man,
ma'am.
but if he
I'm
tells the
good.
man
I'm
and he
good.
accepts
To
it,
orchestrate the
I can't do
polygamous
that.
relationship is a lot.
I can't.
I don't know about that.
but if she
do it.
accepts it, if he accepts it, I think what hurts that situation is when you don't give a person the choice from day one.
Right.
You give a person choice. If they
Right.
choose it,
Right.
listen, what two people do in their bedroom ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right. Conversations have to be
saying?
had and
No, I'm good.
communication has to be,
Right? I'm
Good.
good.
Shannon K, call in. The 516.
What she
What
say?
did she say?
She just been talking a lot. Call in. Let's have a conversation.
Give her the number.
Call in. 516-253-1150.
Shannon K. Wow, what she was saying?
Don't do it, Shannon. Don't call. Wow, what did
But
she
what she
say?
said,
What
what
was
she
she
said?
saying?
Yeah, but again, you know what it is, and I'm going to talk to my sister Shannon. Shannon, she said, give me that again. A little slow.
Uh-oh, please.
Give her the number again. I want to talk to her. And again, when you call in Shannon, we're not trying to argue and fight with you. So if you're going to do
her the number real
that,
quick
we
before
hanging
we
up
go.
on you.
Up, somebody
there go
put
the
it in the
number.
comments. Oh, that was you.
Somebody give her one headphone.
There might be a ton of people start calling now.
Give her another headphone, Tal. I want to hear this.
No, I mean,
Cause y'all,
Honest,
see if y'all
be
can
able to
hear it.
hear.
Yeah, call in now, Shannon.
Uh-oh.
No, but you got to understand that some people...
I am Jamaican, Jacqueline.
Yeah. But some people just in a bad space. So you got to know who you entertaining. That's the conversation. The Wavy just posted the
I
number.
say, come on, the stage is yours.
Somebody said what?
Come on, the stage is yours. Talk about Shannon.
Yeah, I'm curious too. I want to hear what she got to say. You know?
Somebody said it's about to get real.
But you know something though? Or
Brown Sugar Lashes, where you
That's Shannon?
located? You do lashes?
hold on. She's still calling. Hold on. Tell me you're ready. Go ahead. Shannon, what's going on?
Hello.
How you doing, Miss Shannon?
Hi.
How's
Can you
everything?
hear me?
Yeah, I hear you 100%.
I'm doing well. How are you? Thank you
can't
for taking
complain.
my call.
No, my director said that he wanted to bring you on, so let's see what you got.
Okay, so should I cancel the live so that it won't echo? Because I'm new at this.
Yes, cancel the live, so because they're gonna keep hearing
Okay.
it. They're definitely gonna echo.
Okay, I canceled. Did that help?
Yes,
Where's
perfect.
she from, first
Where you
off?
from?
I am from a little small town in Florida. It's called High Springs.
Okay, welcome to Florida. What's going on? I ask one question before we start. Are you single or married?
I've been married for 26 years.
Okay, give it up for them.
Married for 26 years, Shannon.
Okay, what you got, Shannon?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear everything you're saying.
Okay, all right, I'm new at this, like I said. But like I said, I saw from the start when I first joined that you did a lot of blaming women. Not only you, but the ladies that are sitting next to you. And my question constantly was, if everything starts with the man based on what the Bible says, why are you all focusing on so much on women?
Because accountability starts from whoever is accountable. When you can't.
No.
You asked me a question. Can I finish? I'm not gonna cut you off. Don't cut me off either. We
Yeah,
gotta
go
respect
ahead.
each other. Okay.
No.
Okay.
We have a delay. That's what that is.
I'm sorry. I apologize. But accountability is two grown-ups holding each other to what is transparent. My ladies spoke morally about the wrongs of a man. I spoke more so the wronglies of women. So therefore, the dialogue flows because I'm raising the awareness of what women do. They're raising the awareness of what men do. So at times we agree or we disagree, but there's a lot of issues that we have in our culture that a man can identify that he sees that women do. And there are things that they do because they deal with men on intimate levels. So there are things I don't know about a man on an intimate level because I don't deal with men on an intimate level. If I date a woman and I'm dealing with her on an intimate level and she's your best friend, I bet you I know her better than you do. When a person starts sleeping with you intimately, they know you deeper than a person that's not sleeping with you intimately. Would you?
So I can respond now?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know when your wife spoke about men, but I joined in and you were giving women a hard time. And what I'm saying to you is, based on what we believe in the Bible, men are the head. Men cover women. If you're not acknowledging all the things that we go through in this country as women, meaning even through times of the Bible, women have always been mistreated. Women have always been paid less. You even talked about how back in the day with your grandmother and your grandfather, them staying together. During that time, women were not allowed to vote. Women could not get on a plane without a signature from their husbands. So a lot of times back in those days, women put up with things that they did not want to put up with. They had to put up with it because they didn't have choices. So what we're seeing now today is a lot of men that are uneducated, that a lot of times no choice of their own. We live in a toxic society.
Agreed.
So I would never beat a man down for not making a lot of money, but I would not beat a woman down either. Just like in the Bible, Tamar was not beaten down when she took the bracelet from a man because he slept with her and did not want to make her a wife. So women have done what they have to do in this society to survive. So if we're going to talk about the brokenness of women, we first have to acknowledge that, Adam, where are you? Adam, why did you take your eyes off of your wife? Adam, why did you let your woman go out and be tricked by a serpent? So what we're seeing a lot of times from women is men that do not know their purpose. So if a man doesn't know his purpose and he's leading women into darkness. What does darkness look like for women? We become gold diggers. We become women that are unaware of ourselves. So again, it does not start with women. So if we're going to talk, we need to spend the majority of our time getting in the booth and fixing our brothers.
Now, can I speak
and
on that?
again, that is not to give brothers a hard time. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, exactly what you said, I do agree with it. I'm not going to fight it. But what I will say is this, though, right? You definitely sound like you come from a mature generation. You don't sound like the current generation that's currently becoming or just became adults. Would you agree with that statement?
But let me tell you, I was those women.
No. Hold on. I'm not done. I'm just actually. I just want to make sure. I want to get to see the age demographics of where you are first.
Right, but
So
I
hold
want to respond.
No. I'm asking you: are you an older woman or are you a younger woman?
I'm in my 40s.
Okay, so as an older woman or a mature woman, a lot of the things, this nuance of generation, it's not the same as I'm 40. And the things that I'm seeing with the women now,
Thank you, Marcus.
it's a whole different world opposed to when I was growing up. But if we cannot acknowledge that a lot of these women are not leadable, and you expect a man to lead what is not leadable, who only wants to rebel against leadership, who does not know how to submit to leadership, who do not respect leadership, and who does not honor God's commandment, which is submission, then you already have a problem within itself. Because he doesn't pick and choose in the Bible what a woman's supposed to submit to. He says that when you choose this as your mate, you submit to your husband. This is what he says. He doesn't say because you make less money, because you fell off, because your life is not together.
I love this conversation.
A lot of these women, I'm just being fair.
Can I respond? No. I understand you, brother. Can I respond to that? Because let me tell you, there was a woman so bad off in the Bible that God told her to name her children a name that meant like disgrace.
Okay.
Again, I just told you about a woman that was so bad off in the Bible. She stole the man that was having sex with her. She stole his bracelet or his ring. Women are no different today than they were 1,000 years ago.
I disagree.
The problem is our men. Wait a minute. I know it, but the problem is, do you believe in God?
100%.
Do you believe in God?
100%.
Then if you believe in God, then don't speak down to the least of them. If you're speaking about the least of them, what you're saying right now is women that are broken. We are financially struggling. When you talked about women being on the system and the system being their baby's fathers, I want you to bring the men on your show that have slept with one woman, that is dedicated to that one woman, and is in the house raising his children.
I have a few mentors like that.
Today, what?
You heard me?
Yeah, we're good. We'll bring them on. Bring plenty of them on because
I have a few spiritual leaders.
That's fine, because I want you to talk to the everyday Joe Blow brothers that are in the house with their baby mamas or their wives and taking care of these children. The reason that women are on Section 8 and all these different programs today is because men are not there. So if you as a man chose to have a baby with a woman that was not worthy, her unworthiness speaks of you because you chose that woman. See, that's what I'm saying. Men are leading even when they don't realize it. Men are always leading. So if you don't have a decent purpose, or your purpose is to be a hot mess, then the women around you are what you have produced. You're always leading.
Agreed, but I'm going to be honest with you. When we sit there and say that a decision that an adult makes is geared because of somebody else is crazy, I'm just sorry to say that. I don't agree with that statement. I do believe that.
But you've been saying it the whole time.
No, what I said
you
was.
You have been saying that the whole show.
No, but every time, just so you know this, just so you know that every time I
Yes.
talk, you cut me off. Just so you know that every time I speak.
Not every time, but I apologize again.
I'm being honest. Everybody's here to hear it. Every time I speak,
okay,
you just.
That's fine. Okay.
Okay, you can read the comments. They're telling you it. But I'm just saying.
Well, I got off so I could talk to you, but go ahead.
Okay, what I'm saying is a lot of the women in today's society are not leadable. They are broken. They do have issues. And a lot of the men are also broken. But again, we did acknowledge and bring up the issues that's in our culture that is very prominent and very transparent and it's causing more issues into the next generation. If we do not acknowledge what the women are doing wrong, then therefore you cannot just point the bill at men and say a woman sleeping with 40 men is because of a man. A woman having 6 baby daddies because of a man, that's crazy. We have to acknowledge on both sides. If my woman to the right of me has acknowledged everything that the men are doing wrong, I'm acknowledging what the women are doing wrong. Because again, it's just what it is. It's a reality of society. But if we only gonna say what the men do and the men did this and the men not being there and the men, listen, sister, the women choose pregnancy. Because in order for me to enter you, you have to allow me to enter you raw without a condom. You have to allow it. So where's your accountability?
Okay, can I respond?
But wait,
can I respond?
Where's your accountability?
No, that's what I'm asking you. Are you done? Because there is a delay, and so I'm trying to make sure you're done. Okay, you are right. Women do have accountability. But if you believe in God, we know that men are the choosers. Men find a good thing. So yes, women have 6 baby daddies, and there are a lot of men with 6 baby mamas. These women are not making babies by themselves. Again, if a man is in darkness, he's going to choose darkness. What does darkness look like for a woman? 6 baby daddies, chasing the bag, hustling.
You know what you missed though in this conversation?
Because those are signs of brokenness.
But you know what you missed in this conversation? If I just said to you, my sister to the right of me who's sitting on a podcast is identifying the things that men do wrong in society, and I'm identifying the things that women are doing wrong in society, I think it's a fair battle. I think it's a fair battle.
Yes, you're right. That is a fair battle.
So
I
that's
did not
all I'm
hear
saying.
That part.
That's why I said you shouldn't get emotional if you didn't see the whole thing. a man.
No, I didn't. And you're
She
right.
didn't
I
hear the
give
whole
you that.
conversation.
But what I am saying is, I didn't hear the whole thing. But what I heard was a man saying that.
See?
So tell me. So now that I have you on the phone, tell me the responsibility. What does it look like when men are in brokenness?
What we gonna do?
Let me
We're
see
gonna
if
do.
it sounds similar to
Todd,
what you
do
said
me a
about
favor.
women.
No, do me a favor. DM me on TikTok, and I'm gonna send you this whole episode so you could get the whole spew of the whole episode.
That
But
would be great.
I'm gonna do that.
That
Make
would
sure
be
you
great.
DM me, and I'm gonna
if I
respond to you.
missed anything,
And I'm gonna do a one-on-one with you. We're gonna talk.
Please do. I'll apologize. And thank you
No,
again for
don't.
having
Why you
a
apologizing
very
for? My
good
sister, you
dialogue.
added a lot of value to this conversation. And believe you me, your words is
Thank you.
definitely
I
valuable.
appreciate it.
You know, but I look, but again,
Thank you.
I don't want to make it a me and you
And I
show. I
didn't mean any
apologize.
disrespect, brother. Thank you so
no, my
much. And
sister.
to the
Listen.
ladies,
My
thank
sister,
y'all.
I love you. I value you. I appreciate you. I don't feel no type of way. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
DM me though, because I definitely want to talk more to you. I appreciate it. What's
Okay,
your
I'm
name
gonna see if I
again?
can figure out how to
What's
do
her
it,
name?
but thank y'all.
Shannon.
My
Shannon?
name is Shannon.
What-
I'm from a small town in High Springs, and I am.
What's your
go
TikTok
ahead,
name
yeah.
again?
Shannon the Butterfly.
Tyler taking it down. I appreciate you.
Thank you for calling,
Thank you so much, Shannon.
Shannon.
Appreciate you. I get it. She has valid points.
Yeah.
But I do believe that and I want to acknowledge that a lot of women do get triggered when a man say things about women.
Yeah.
But a lot of women feel they can say things about men. And I'm just gonna be honest with you. I see it in the space I even work at, where women will say a bunch of stuff about men, and the moment a man says things about women, it becomes he hates women, he's a this, he's a. I'm like, come on, that's crazy. Like you said things about a man, but I could also acknowledge things about a woman. Go ahead, Tyler.
I want to shout out Marcus again. He sent another 20
Yeah,
pounds.
Thank you, Marcus.
Marcus, I appreciate you.
He also said, you're speaking some real facts today, my American brother. I was very lucky to have a strong Jamaican grandfather who taught me good mental health skills. Shout out Marcus.
Rastafari.
Whoever Benny is on here, Benny's funny.
Let's look.
It's funny.
I know you gotta get out of here
yeah.
soon. What you got before we get out of here today? Who wanna go first?
This was a great episode, guys.
This was really good.
This was amazing. Shannon, thank you for calling in
And we
and
gotta
giving your
respect her.
input.
100%.
respect
I
her.
totally
100%.
respect
You know?
that.
Respectfully.
Everyone on the live, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent, thank you for your input.
Yeah.
This was a great conversation. And, pardon me, and I just think as women, as a whole, men as a whole, we both can do better.
100%.
There is room for improvement for both
100%.
of us. I'm not going
100%.
to point the finger or blame shift. As a society, as a black society, because we can only relate to our society and our culture, right?
Agreed.
I think it's a lot of work that needs to be done, a lot of shadow work, a lot of inside work that needs to be done as a whole so we can work together better as a unit. I think we should get back into the unity thing in the black family,
That's it.
in the
I
black
love that.
culture.
What you got?
That's it. We're not against each other, guys.
No.
We're together. This is not a man versus woman, woman versus men. It's what we could do as a society, as a community, as people to better each other, to
Yes.
just better coexist with each other. The
Yes.
fight back and forth of what a woman believes or what a man believes. I'm not always going to agree with a man because I'm a woman. A man is not always going to agree with me because he's a man. But whatever we could do to just be better for each other is what we need to focus on. The fight is not against each other.
That's it.
I love my men. I need y'all.
We need y'all.
We need y'all.
We need y'all.
We need y'all. I'm not one of those women who don't think I need a man. I need y'all.
100%. For those
Some
who
of
don't
y'all
know,
we could do without, but
each
I
and
need
every
y'all.
Sunday we do this live. We shoot this episode each and every Sunday between the hours 2, 3 o'clock. We usually start, depending on when Shay get here. Right? But
He
that's
never
another story.
gave me no time, y'all. I go to church on Sundays. I have to cook for my churn, and then he never said no time. He said, come, so here I am.
But seriously, guys, I just want y'all to know that we don't do this to hurt. And a lot of the people, I just want y'all to understand this before we get out of here today. If you easily triggered, that means you have a lot of underlying issues.
Yeah.
Because again, every human has a right to their opinion, whether I agree or disagree, because we could agree to disagree. And respectfully, if I don't agree with you, it's okay. And respectfully, if you don't agree with me, it's okay.
We don't
But
gotta accept it. We just gotta respect each
You gotta
other, you
respect
know?
it.
That's
And when
it.
you start calling names, it shows the level of
Yeah.
maturity that you actually have.
You gotta cook for her turn, right.
But
Thank you,
again,
Elisa.
this conversation is extremely needed in the black culture. We need to actually raise awareness. By ignoring a cancer is not gonna go away.
Thank you,
Somebody
Bush
said
whether-
Forever, Legend
Appreciate it.
516.
Aw,
Thank you,
thanks,
Melissa.
guys.
But again, if we just keep ignoring the cancers, we're gonna act like it don't exist, and then therefore the culture is gonna stay stagnated in the positioning by not identifying truth.
Jacqueline,
You know what
his
I'm
name
saying?
is Cute
Can I
Boss.
finish?
She said it's the first time here.
Can I
Who's this
finish?
guy? All right, wrap it up.
When she was talking, you said I ain't talking?
Wrap it up.
You see that?
Wrap it up.
You see that, though? I asked her a minute ago what you guys say. She said nothing. She said nothing.
Wrap it up.
And every time since I started talking, she just cut me off.
Wrap it up.
You know what I'm saying? But I get nice Q the Boss on Instagram. Y'all guys shout your handles out real quick.
He said, "Don't let that go over your wig."
He says, "Is he a millionaire?"
You answer. What do you think?
Much love from Kenya. Thank you, Mel.
I don't know if he
am
is or
from
not.
Kenya, and I love this.
I don't know Q business like that, but he's a good man. He's a good guy.
He's a
guys.
very good guy.
And we really do love doing this, guys. We appreciate, we respect all of y'all
Eastern
opinion.
time, Melissa. Eastern.
We just love you guys. You guys make it funny. You make it interesting.
Say your Instagram handle.
Tashay Jones, TSAHAYJONES.
And I am
Benny,
the
not too
Queen
much on our
Myra.
wigs.
So that's THE_Queen QUEEN__ Myra MIRA.
From Lesotho. Where
No,
is
guys,
that?
hold on,
Oh,
guys.
I love you guys.
Yo, muter? Thank you. OD. Right? Real fast. You. What do you mean? Guys, real fast. For those who are interested in the podcast, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's called Empower Dynasty. If you want to stream more episodes, you can clearly go look up any streaming server. The podcast is called Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast. Follow my co-hosts. We do this each and every Sunday, guys. Till next time, as we love to say, Tyler, don't let that go over your head.
Bye, guys.